say you cannot believe the figures because the police don't have body cameras, then that is the problem. You guys are not willing to give credit where it is due. What is that since 2025? Hold on.
Again, let me tell you.
No, Jamaica, hold on. I'm going to mute you because you're gone down a road to me now and follow you.
Are you alone?
Since 2025, we in April now, Jamaica has seen a 35% reduction in murders. In 2024, we saw a 19% reduction in murder. And in 2022, we saw an 8% reduction in murder. That is 3 consecutive years of reduction. Right? Now, the same Jamaica Constabulary Force in 2018 tell the country of Jamaica that we had a 30%, a 10%, and a 20% increase in murder. Everybody believed the constabulary force then.
Because of the perception,
No, because that's where we get the figures from. And what you're telling me now, Jamaica, is that when the figures are in favor of the government of the day, which you don't like, you don't accept it. But when it is against them, then you accept it. And let me prove that point to you now. Is the starting last week said the economy declined by 0.8%. Is that true?
They cannot lie about the economy.
Jamaica, goodbye.
That's it.
Goodbye. That is the hypocrisy, the people. I mean, I'm done the conversation right there. So that is the hypocrisy. So when the figures are bad, it is okay. Yes, the economy is in a decline. And the same people give figures from the beginning of time until now. The Jamaica Labour Party give us figures on crime. Starting give us figures on the equipment. Thing they give us on tourism, and we have all of them. Nothing has changed. So you can't come now and say you want to have a genuine conversation, but you accept figures that are bad and you don't like the ones that are good. And that is where my problem is with PMP and them supporters. That is where the problem is. They are not willing to accept that the country now is better off under Andrew Michael Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party than it ever was. And as I pay something, Sean, is that we have to expose them because people listen to them. We have to expose them to be disingenuous people, and in some instances, they are blatant liars. 22, 23, 24, and now 25 murders, major crime has been on the decline. So far in 2025, we have a 35% reduction in major crime. 35, the lowest it's been in the last 30 years. It was under the People's National Party that will cross over 1,000 murder a year for the first time, and it has not gone down since. You said the man come here and listen to me and realize that when we done the conversation, I am not being disingenuous. We done the conversation because the man said, let us discuss the Jamaica Labour Party in the last 9 years. And then you're going to read me say, from 2020. Remember, you know, them say, as can to one of the PNP bloggers, me not good at maths. But me know say from 2012 to 2025 is not 9 years. From 2012 to 2025 is not 9 years. So if you want to discuss 9 years, when the figures hit you now, we are going to go back to 2012 because guess what? I don't so you can't if you're mixing for them figures. If you're mixing for them figures, you can distort our one. I am not afraid to say and I say it proudly, I am not just a supporter, but I am a member of the Jamaica Labour Party. I pay my dues. I am a card-carrying member. And I do that because they are the best party to run Jamaica. They have proven it more so in the last 9 years. Under the People's National Party, and I cannot repeat this enough, because most of you, just like Jamaicans, most of them are 2 months ago. Not even 2 months. Most of them are 2 weeks ago, PMP. Most of them joined PMP blogging team when they say Marky J go give them $1 billion. Missy Triple X now come out and say, oh, the JLP, I try buy them, so that's why them offer something. But yet, when the PMP offer you $1 billion, what they never see nothing wrong with it. Join the people again. If we are going to have discussion, we have to be fair. Now, there are certain people that hide themselves under the banner of fairness and honesty. Jamaica was one of them until we pull out the veil a while ago. Jamaica was one of them, until we pull out the veil a while ago. I want to see now, say he is nothing but a regular comrade. Any Jamaican, any well-thinking Jamaican who love them country, would have loved the fact that crime, major crime, is trending down. Any Jamaican will love them country. Why don't you believe it? Because the police said them have body cameras. What the hell does body cameras have to do with the murder rate going down? Somebody tell me that. What body camera have to do with the murder rate going down? If you want to discuss extrajudicial killings, under the People's National Party, extrajudicial killing was over 1,000 per year. Under the People's National Party, extrajudicial killing by the police was over 1,000 a year. In this present JCF, it is virtually non-existent. Now, man, joke, that's the murder rating. That's the murder, not the extrajudicial killing. Right? Extrajudicial killing by the police used to rival the murder count. Under this Jamaica Constabulary Force, the new one that has been created since 2016, extrajudicial killing is virtually non-existent. Because the Jamaica Constabulary Force is better trained, better equipped, and more supported than they have ever been. They are not at the behest of any Dan from East Kingston. No Dan from East Kingston now run the police force like one time. Police officers are being promoted and their merit not selected by a Dan in East Kingston. We don't have government agencies funding criminal activities anymore like we did in Spanish Town. So anybody, all of them who want to come and run them out and talk, tell them to come. Just try not tell no lie and then see what happens. Yes, it was Bruce Golding that created Indicom. These people are very disingenuous. And as I say, we have to have them and we have to learn to dismantle their, take off them veil. We have to take off them veil. We have to take off them veil and expose them. The figures that come from the very same place that says the economy declined by 0.8. Oh, them can't lie upon that. But because that's the narrative.
Chuck. From him start argue when Lashika start talk, him never even want her to complete what she was saying. If you notice them, the people who represent balance, facts, and truth, they really don't want to have conversations with those people, And you can notice a comrade by many profiles. One of them, the main one, I have never voted and I don't support a party.
I have never voted, yes.
That are the first line for recognize a comrade. The second one is Them do not like women. Notice when Lashika talk, when I try crowd her out. Them don't like woman. And woman can't talk. Woman not say enough for them thing. And then the third thing is, they will never walk hand in hand with the truth. So here what me I say, I know you know Chuck, because me have one little position here where me not think me I go change it. If me go up on a live or one comrade there, me run on panda because there are certain misinformation and certain things need to be clarified, then we have that. I will never have a conversation with a comrade inviting them in no box and upon no live. Me not do that, you know, brother, because it's futile. Even though, as you have just said, you tear away the veil. I believe the people are able to see the veil. Now you're involved in a media, you have understanding how media work, Chuck. When you watch a TV, Flow and Digicel advertise the same time. And Flow and Digicel now go team up with them one another or have a public spot from the product where they offer to be public. They are going to offer their public in their own way, in their product in their own way, and offer it in a way that entices the customer. I believe it make better sense. All one time I 100 somebody in the box. It make better sense if we are going together and discuss topics that highlights the programs of the government, especially at this stage. And nothing wrong, you know. If you, Richards, will come in at the conversation, you know, because guess what? One thing with you, Richards, even though I'm out of order, even though I'm not no manners, he's going to have a conversation. Not like this all Zutupek. I don't know where him come from. This man don't want to have a conversation. He's literally putting forward the PMP political talking points. Him start a minimum wage, and once he realized that him argument now make no sense, him jump gun somewhere else over
That's
price.
how Alcom would argue. That's how Alcom would argue, you know, protecting Jay. That's how all of them argue.
The whole of them, then just want to put what they must say out there, and we have to remember. That's why you see in the first instant, me say, no, pause right there, so. Because you can't just put something out there and want to run, go to the next thing. So, and this is what they want to do. They want to sow the seed of confusion. And if we allow them in our audience to continue to sow the seed of confusion, then it's going to take with double work and triple work for you correct to the audience the confusion where they sow.
No, but here's the difference. Here's how that go now, protect. Our audience are persons that listen to us on a daily basis. Right? Our audience knows the truth because we give them the truth every day. So them coming now cannot confuse the audience. What we take the chance to do is to speak to their audience. Remember, we discuss things openly, you know. This is what they are saying. This is the truth.
Chuck, let me tell you something. And we have to understand that. We need to understand in Jamaica. The JLP said it already, and I believe they're going to be repeating it in this election campaign. The people who already support and follow the PMP, we can't win them, brother. It's a count over there, so. It is the people in the middle who really want to support the way forward for Jamaica. At them we have to reach. And how are we going to reach them? We are going to reach them by putting out the information of the government. The PMP will follow Jamaics and caution. Them now follow for change. Then follow them come over here. If you go back to talk, say, oh, Jamaics bad up Chuck, you know. That's all. Them now come over here for change. Them not coming over here to change, brother. Are the people in the middle who get them increased span and pay, the nurses, the teacher, the police, who say to themselves, say, I want to support the JLP, but I need just a little bit more reassurance to go put my vote. And we have to give them the information for them go put on their vote.
But I'm protecting Jay. Here's why. Here's why me believe, sir. Here's why. And I said this a while ago, repeat it again. After the thing with Triple X recently, I get messages from his audience member who are saying, listen to me, I never know this, I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me this. So if it's even one or two of them, it's not everybody who listen to them are dieted. It's not everybody who listen to me are dieted. So if you go there, every time we go, we capture one, we capture one, we capture one, it's worth it. It's well worth it.
Boy, Chuck, somebody in a chat say you have patience. Me don't know where you get it from, brother. You look like you really you're full of patience, brother.
I be a gospel play this. As me say, no, my thing is that I know my end goal. Me know my end goal, you know. My end goal is to just debunk them argument. And as me say, it's not. I know everybody have the ability for this, you know. Me don't give people that power there, so people might say things, but they can't this me.
Well, you see, let me tell you something in a truck. Me not lie, you know, because a couple times, well, me see you bring them round and then go on, and you end up get them where you want them. But the point is, brother, you see, because I have a patience, eh? Because I have a patience, me not too want to do it, because guess what? He should not. Him say want a conversation, and him can't even allow you to talk as a host. Him don't even want to allow you to organize the thing and monitor your own live. And him says a conversation him come for. What kind of conversation is that?
And here's the thing, protected J. You see, because me know what me know, we follow him down any road him want to go, we follow him because guess what? Them cannot win.
My God, man.
They cannot win.
Who really listen to Jamaics though? Who? Because him just behave like a big hog in a pen. Who really go sit down and listen to Jamaics? Him just a read some sitting and he look like him don't even understand what him a read and him a tell you, say you don't understand what him a say. Him just him pick some things out of thin year. Who listens to this man if him is a man? It could have be a him or a shim. Who listen? This is nonsense. The man can't even agree. Say crime is down the lowest in 30 years. Not even that thing can agree. And
because
whose talking point is that?
Their narrative.
Is it PMP talking point? Peter Bunting.
In a quarter mile, take exit 7B for
Peter Bunting talking point that.
Yeah, Barry.
I'm protecting JA.
You can't even hide.
I'm actually in transit. Am I disturbing with the noise?
Go ahead, man. You're saying something. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Listen up.
take exit 7B.
Boy, I appreciate how you dealt with this guy. Believe me. Because he was there and he was distorting the truth. And he was so convinced that what he was saying was correct. And this is the kind of thing that Protecting Jay is talking about. We don't need to have them in our thing. We don't need to be having our competition on our platform.
Barry.
Want to realize that they are our competition, we need to get rid of them.
Barry.
And
before I ask him about
Turn
the
left onto
economy, what
West
did I
Norfolk
say?
Avenue, then turn right onto US 80 West.
In Protecting Jay, before I ask him about the economy, what did I say?
I think you said to him that I don't remember clearly.
Tell him, you are a liar and I'm going to
Right,
prove
turn
it.
right onto
Yes,
US 80
yes,
West.
you said that to him.
You know the numbers where you believe and I'm going to prove it to you. And I say no. Patin said the economy declined by this. You remember, you know, this man said no believe. No,
Continue on US 80 West for half a mile.
I said no, I'm going to prove it to you now. So you're picking and you're choosing, you're disingenuous. Patin said the economy down by 8%. Do you believe it?
8%, yes.
But not 8%, by 0.8%. 0.8%. Do you believe it? Well, them can't tell lie about the economy.
Well, they can't tell lie about the figures.
The bad news.
So why is the police telling lie about their figures?
Yes, the police are telling lie, but starting not tell lie.
But,
because the numbers suit them.
exactly, Barry. But here's the thing, though. I want very good cutoff point you have because in our way when articulate himself as an intellectual person,
In a quarter
but
mile, turn left onto Market
he is
Street.
not, right? Because you can't come a debate with feelings and opinion. You have to come a debate with facts, right? And if you're gonna dispute the facts so the Jamaica Constabulary Force are established for the country, what is your
At the
source?
light,
Which
turn
other
left
source
onto
we are going
Market
to
Street.
put that in the number there? You have to go present a source now, right? And you can't present your feelings and you can't present your emotions and your opinion. And that are the only source. The source where we go for to evaluate the number of crime that is happening in the country is the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And whatever them present to we that we have to work with, right? So if you are gonna say you have a problem with the source, then what other source we're gonna have?
What does body cam 100 live? What does body cam happening with the
Chuck,
murder rate?
Chuck, the people on here, the 200 odd people who are listening to it, need to understand that it is Andrew Wellness that they hate.
Barry Lord, but
Without any reason, without
Is my
establishing
background?
any
yes,
position,
indicator
without establishing any position, he went straight ahead. Him do not believe not where the Prime Minister say. Andrew Wellness here treat them a carry. It's a hate. It's a hate that they have for this man.
Yeah, Mr. Chuck, why I tell you all the way me take off my hats to you. And may I tell you, I have a lot of respect for you how you deal with these people like Triple X and this idiot one car. I see you make some point thing where you might try being a point here when you show me him go say no car. If you get a plumber at your house and the plumber shake up the pipe and you bring an next plumber and the plumber
In
come and look
800
and say,
feet,
boy,
your
Mr. Chuck,
destination will be on the right.
the plumber there, put in some pipe when you fit it and that fit it, so you know. You gonna mean more time the plumber, you have to give this plumber time to fix back those problems.
Exactly.
You see? No matter what, if you get an electrician at work and when the electrician put in the pipe, them and the wire them not fix because you're not gonna get no light. You bring an electrician and say, boy, Chuck, those and such. So you
He might
have
forgot
to give
undo
more
all
time.
that work.
So when you put those all that works, so when you put those point to him and the next point you put to him, say, if the police do all of the analyze, him can't actually him at about
He
the
might try
police
elaborate
killing
on that. He might try elaborate as if
you saw me and say
that the police are killing people. Like what the
yeah,
hell?
me love Chuck, me I tell you.
He kinda
I take
need
off me
some-
hat to you and me tell you I salute you, I love how you deal with them. Hey, me love to listen to you, you know, man. When you put them in a car and make people see them as some little idiot. And them now no facts and merit to nothing what them I bring to the table. Them just try to just like go protect the JSA at the Prime Minister them eat.
Them don't put
So them now
themselves
no-
out on a limb
Yeah.
whereby them create a audience where the lie is being controlled to them. So them can't lean to the side of the truth because it exposed all of the work where them do 6 months ago.
If you want to come up like a shades, man, you can request more boxes there, man.
Yeah, man. You somebody say like 6 months ago, we put him say him in at the thing 6 months. So 6 months worth of lie. Create film audience and create film platform, right? So when one owns a truth, they really own thing, right? So them offended by the truth. Imagine this is a party that them offended by the fact that the crime rate is down, right? They're offended by the fact that the country have so much infrastructure go up, and they willingly and openly put a blind eye to it.
Primarily 100. They are offended. That is the little youth from a Spanish town.
Thank you. That's little barefoot you.
True. That is true.
That is
And a young youth as that, and a young
That
youth.
is the I want the people of Jamaica to understand. I want the people of Jamaica to understand that all who did go at KC, JC, and Calabar did not do well by Jamaica. And the little youth we got Spanish town high. I lift up Jamaica in the world, and that them offended by,
True,
and that's why they
true.
hate him.
Come
They
show them up.
hate
Yeah,
him
that
like
is
a
true.
dose of poison because all of
Yeah.
them got a big school, and him come from a Spanish town. I make them look bad. And they hate him. PJ, you see PJ come out of retirement. PJ got Calabar. PJ hate Andrew Wellness. He hate him. Because he make PJ look like a one little dunce.
Love how you talk, protect him.
Hatred this way I look on.
Love how you talk, my family. Brothers and respect.
Hatred.
Bless up darker shades.
My God.
Darker
Yo, me
shades.
like.
Darker
me love
shades.
it, me
That's
love-
a man who serve. You hear
Yeah,
the
Chuck.
man say, sir? You hear what the man
Chuck,
say?
listen to me. Me tell you now. Listen, 200 down there. Now listen. Saying, I'm telling you this. Jamaica is a country that requires some stringent management. And any man can come do what they need to do for Jamaica. If you hear Nigel Clark spoke, he said that as a minister of finance, he has to be courageous in carrying out his duties.
Including
Because-
to his own.
Because when it is no, it is no. And when it is yes, it is yes. You understand? He has to stand by his words and actions in order for the country to move forward. So we have a leader here now who believes in his country and wants to do great by it. So this is the reason why the investments are being made in the different entities. Now, as it relates to the Ministry of National Security. Yo, you don't ever see them a level of investment here being placed in national security.
Not in
As
my
man
life.
in Jamaica, you never see them a level here investment here take place.
No.
Target out.
No, sir.
No,
No. First,
Like I said, this is
Listen
my
to me.
police uniform. You see, vest what they have with the Jamaica flag I back pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
But general,
Man,
listen to
them
me.
look neat and nice, bro.
I spoke about this morning. In 2008, when the government had to move to IMF in order to get assistance, really, the global recession. IMF looked on with Prime Minister then, Mr. Golden, Bruce Golden, and say, yo, on a wage bill too high, you know. The public sector need to reduce. And they kept on pressing him to do it. Was it done? No, because Jamaica needs the resources that it had, the human resources that it had. Now it came to this point where Mr. Holness now, who is in charge, he analyzes and he understands what is needed to move the national security to the level, to control the level of crime that is being administered in Jamaica. And he has been investing holistically to make things happen. Now, when you see investment that take place and the morals of the JCF rise based on increase in salary, promotion, or otherwise, and the bucketive,
Better working environment.
Chuck, don't forget that part here, very important. The bucketive of the minister and the prime minister.
That's why I say supported. They are being supported.
Listen to me, man. Very important. The men and women of the JCF and the JDF now understand that in the carrying out of their functions and their duty, the fact that you put your life on the line going out there, you have the bucketive in the lawful execution. Brethren and sisters, the lawful, not the unlawful.
Not the unlawful.
Not the illegalities. The bucketive of the government in the lawful functions of their duty. This is what is needed. It is needed on a high level, and this is what they're getting.
Dr. Shea, give me a second there.
Sir.
Protecting JA, Omar also must correct your statement. He said the Prime Minister, which is true, went to St. Catherine High, not Spanish.
Catherine High School, my alma mater. Big up my general.
Him come from Spanish town. I never say go Spanish
sir.
town.
Come on, you say Spanish town if it's true.
And go
This is
St.
Spanish
Catherine
town.
High.
Yeah.
St. Catherine High. Omar also must make it clear. So St. Catherine High get the credit.
St. Catherine High. the
This
Prime
is
Minister
power.
went to St. Catherine High. And that's why them shame. Because he went to St. Catherine High. Not Calabar, not JC, not
Not
KC,
KC,
not
not
Pullman,
KC.
Right.
but St.
Gentlemen.
Catherine High. And that's the shame. And that's
Hold
why
on, hold on, Barry, Dr. Shea,
Give me a minute.
and then you come after him.
Yes,
Continue, Dr. Shea.
I'm in the darker shade.
Hold on, I run into a meeting. Right,
Oh,
Dr.
oh,
Shea,
oh,
just,
right. Dr. Shades,
Alright,
leave
but-
back and then you. Come
no
back.
problem.
I love the conversation, and this is where I wanted to go discuss the issues that we have now. What the government is doing good, and we keep doing it. You know what? Based on the conversation, guys, Prime Minister Holness, based on his antecedents, has to do twice as good as any other Prime Minister to be recognized because of his antecedents. Just like we say, he come from Spanish Town. So can any good thing come out of Nazareth?
Yes, it can.
And basically that's where we are now. So gentlemen, keep up repeating. People will get it. And like I said, like I always say, also remind the people that make sure say you're gonna get enumerated. Well, that cut off now. But let us try to remind them that on the day election, let us go vote. Right? London, going to a meeting, I'll be listening.
All right, Barry, look up yourself. All right, continue, Dr. Shades.
Yeah, so continuing on where I left off. As I said, the bucketive of the government and the morals of the JCF being lifted and the JDF being lifted allows these personnel to go out there and carry out their functions accordingly. When I hear a come out on the media, the national media, and tell the country that he and his hard-working staff will be relentless in the pursuit of criminals, those persons who won't allow us to live our lives accordingly, those who don't want us to carry out our business without the fear of being robbed, those who prevent us from going on the road whenever we feel like, staying at home and leaving our windows open, right? Those who prevent us from having the fear of going out there and not coming back in, going outside and not being able to go back in. He's saying to them, stop what you're doing, because there is betterment in Jamaica. Go do something better for yourself. If you don't want to stop, you will be pursued.
You will be
In the pursuit of you, if you decide that you do not want to give up yourself and you decide say you want to take on these national security members, national security members are trained to execute their duty whichever way it is deemed fit.
I know that. No, what the commissioner said?
So if you don't want to go to jail, don't do what you do. However, if you're doing what
So we have a superior force.
Why you tell them what the commissioner said?
We have a
Commissioner-
superior
Commissioner
trained force.
you will be pursued and
No,
is
he said, I do not train my men to
What do you
lose
mean?
food.
No, man, we're not trained to lose, man.
Oh.
We can't train for lose.
You're
What
trained
the
to
sense?
lose. And
The
the Prime
investment-
Minister said, if you
Yes.
don't want to meet the judge, you will meet your maker.
Jamaica. Right.
Oh.
A man to understand these things. Now, in saying that, I want to know this. Back in the day, the 90s, me grew up in the 80s, 90s. Hope was dim for young people. Dim. That means that when you left high school, you don't know if you get no work. You understand what I did? If you get one little work, you might not pay you no money. Where you can go live life and enjoy the good things in life. You know, buy a little car and build your house and all of these things. Them time they did them. People, me tell you now. You see now, the light is bright. All you need to do is educate yourself. Whether you want to be certified by skill or going to the university.
Hold on, Dr. Shades. Merlin, who is not hearing? Merlin,
Listen.
everybody is hearing?
Merlin not
you
here.
probably need to restart the app and come back with the fire alone not here. Everybody is hearing, Dr. Shades, everybody is hearing, okay?
Just protecting.
All right, everybody is hearing. Merlin, you have to restart the app.
Okay.
You have to restart the app, Merlin. I just hear a loud one. Continue, Dr. Shades.
So listen to me. There's hope in Jamaica. Presently, we can boast that hope there. You understand? Go out there, youths, young people. Go out there. Go get yourself educated. Get a little certification in our skills, go out there and get your university degrees. Work there. You understand me? And if you have to send them to go foreign go work, we can send them to go foreign too.
Yeah, send them to go foreign go work if nobody's out there.
All of these opportunities are here. They are here in front of us. No youth stop, look on crime. Crime now get to nowhere but in a jail or under the earth. The earth. You go analyze because no for no relentless, no crime or no plan for do. The police force and the JDF are out there. They are being defended and backed by the Prime Minister and his team, and the strong investments are being made. Now, Chuck, I'm gonna go look on you and tell you, say, the statistics that are being put out there wrong, like JCF tell, the stats, like them tell. Look out there, yeah. You know, say, the amount of unaliving when I go on last year and I go on now. They must say every day we used to see people are dropping up. So if you don't believe the stats, look out on your eyes. Listen out on the ears. No logic's not behind the stats we are come out. So when they hear a leader come out and I tell you, say, it is not so. What kind of picture am I trying to paint? What kind of picture is
about tearing down? It is about tearing down what is positive about Jamaica. And they will never believe anything positive. So is it, and Darker Shades, listen to me. We had a chance, from 2010, we had a chance to have this reduction in a murder would have continued,
Yes, sir.
Remember?
Yes, sir.
The People's National Party in 2012 inherited one of the best chance.
Yes, sir.
We had between 2010 and 11, the criminals were on the run. They were
on the retreat. Yes, sir.
On the retreat. And they sat on that after 2 years. Not even 2 years good, 14 months on the job. Peter Bunting said, me give up. Me can't
Yes,
do this anymore. And now you know who give up. Not only you give up, you come back and you tell us, say, when I look at the investment in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, it is a waste. That's what the man say, the man say it's a waste.
Yeah, the crazy arguments.
Yeah.
And the reason why it is being said that way, it is because they never made these investments. He himself stated that on Nationwide. He said that I never got these investments being made while I was in charge. That's what Mr. Bunting stated. So he was failing because he never received these investments.
Because they may have the money, them tax, and they have the money to do it. I know another thing where we rub me in a chop. May I tell you, here Cyprius make a statement, and may I tell you, that rub me pour, that boil me blood, and them go compare the Prime Minister with Mark Golden. Eh? Me here make a statement that me I tell you say, it make my blood boil. Me make my blood boil, me I tell you, Chuck. My blood boil.
Hold on there, Chris Carter. Let me answer. You say those years was lost. I think you mean lower in crime. I think you mean lower, between 12 and 30. And yes, you are correct. They were low in crime. And
what was it? Chuck, ask him what was it?
In my 2012 and 13, yes, the numbers were down.
What was the reason?
They did nothing on the gains that they inherited, PMP. Remember, because of the onslaught and the criminality, and let's not forget this, and this is the most important part. When Andrew Warness, the leader of government business in the House, went to Peter Bunting, who was the leader of opposition business, and said, let us move the attack into Spanish Town and dismantle the Klansman and one other gang once and for all. Peter Bunting said no.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So while they did inherit a decline in rate, they did nothing to continue it. And less than a year after being in office, crime was on the rise again.
Ramp up.
They were allowed to reinvest in themselves through lot of scamming,
Yes.
rearm, and that is the monster where the Jamaica Labour Party inherit again in 2016. And at them we have fight ever since.
Yes, sir.
And because of the right investment now, in not only in personnel, in training, in technology, we are seeing the reduction. And these very same people that has absolutely no idea is the one telling you, say, me not believe them. Me not believe them. Because they are not agreeing in your little narrative where you want to search. Right? They don't believe the numbers. But the same numbers are coming from government with a negative headline. You believe that one. That one is good. No. I said these people, them have a different level of hatred for Jamaica. Them hate Jamaica. I want...
Sorry.
Chuck.
Yeah.
Yes, you see, the PMP is a brand, right? And it is a terrorist organization using the country as a cancer against the country and the populace of country of Jamaica. Jamaica is in a state, right, where we are advocate for. Me personally, I don't know if we can speak for the rest of it. We, as the Andrew Holness administration, lift up the trajectory of the country. And the 2.6 million or almost 3 million people in Jamaica for whole hand in heart and see the progress where we are making. And back Michael Andrew Holness to the team and follow through.
Tap up the screen.
Yeah,
Put some
yeah,
more
and follow through.
70,000 and going. Get it up.
Right, and we follow through the whole we all hands together and move the country forward, right? But the PNP party, we not even know what them things stand for. Them so
Criminal
irrelevant and
organization.
the terrorist organization see the strides because them did have the country and because of them bad policies and them bad management of the country, right? Whereby crime was out of hand. Like them create a culture in the country and the minds of the people were doing wrong was doing something or get away with something wrong. Like a man, like now in Jamaica, as Mr. Darker Shade bring up a point, a man will ship 50 car come to Jamaica and only pay for 10 of them because he have links and he have friends and he have this. But under the Jamaican Labour Party, we no work, so bro, you gotta pay for you all 50 of them. Standards. They get them and say we don't have no ghetto link. Right? The policeman them well equipped nowadays to bring out whatever role them have to do in the police force. Nobody can have no excuse if say they don't have this and they don't have that. The only thing when they're required to do is bring justice to the people. Them not have no room for make no excuse. Say no gas not in a car. No car never there station today. You understand them little excuse there with us. And it just if you see the People's National Party decide say them are gonna stand at ease against every little progress when the normal human eye can open up and see the numbers and the statistics. It's not hard, bro. One Google search anyway there I want open your door and walk out the door and you feel it and you see. And you make a comparison. Right? It's easy, bro. The country and move forward. All we just need for unite and just press on and just break whatever.
100%.
Move forward. But the infrastructure them, but the development them. Now what I decide say, true because you're opposition, true because me a PNP. Me I got decide say anything we good are going in our country, me I got stand against it just because me a PNP. It make no sense to me, bro.
100, let me say this, my friend. See, you sound like a young youth. You sound like you have some form of intelligence. Your intelligence is garnered from reading. You understand me? You have to get knowledge in order to understand certain things. And Jamaica is coming from a place, and it is at a certain place at this particular time. What it is that we want as a people are the questions we keep asking. What we want? You understand what I'm saying? We want a Jamaica that is efficient, one that everybody can benefit from. I don't want Jamaica where everybody can beg and get. Begging not gone away. Freeing is not gone away. You understand? I may find out say that is the attitude of the people. We don't want the government then take up everything, you know. No, you can't go through in life. The Bible states that by the sweat of the brow, you are going to eat bread. You have to work for that. You understand what I'm saying? You have some people who are less fortunate. We look out for them. Them can't do it like how the regular, the normal man can do it. So we have to look out for them on a different level. But what about the man who can manage budget? When you put all the effort in order to gain what you want in a life. When me not talk about the minimum wage and the $16,000 that it's at this point in time. Who wants to work minimum wage, sir? What do you expect the minimum wage to be? $200,000 a month? It cannot go to that level. But there has to be a marginalized level that we understand where it is that people must not be paid below. So the small business owners have an opportunity to carry out their business functions and employ a few people. You understand what I'm saying? So you put them in a position where they understand that, listen, you can't work people and not pay them something that is substantial. So listen, don't pay them below $16,000.
Yeah.
So if your business cannot afford if your business cannot afford to pay the people $16,000 or more, that means that your business is not on par to afford certain things. You have to get your business up. See? But at the same time, people have to understand that if you want more, you have to work to achieve more. So it's not that the government is saying pay people $16,000. They're saying that do not pay them below this margin. So if I want $200,000 a month, they're going to look the $200,000 a month work. Come on, no join me. I could go look at big money work.
You could go look the big money work.
Yeah, Virgin. And stop talking about where the government have their margin. It has come from $6,200 and it is now at $16,000. Oh, no, I complain. Oh, no, I complain. You don't want the country to move forward. I see you no come to create problem. What is it that you don't want from Jamaica? Brother.
When we really analyze the national party.
Yeah, elite attack.
When we really analyze the People's National Party, not even the party, the supporters, they are not about politics. They not care about infrastructure development. They not care about security. They not care about nothing having to do with the country. One thing we really see them care about, it's they want to go back to a point where the MPs, them used to come around and give them free handout and give them this, where the money came directly to them, not going into the country to develop the country. They want the money for themselves. They want the free handout. The thing about the job, that's the point I was going to make, but Darker Shade covered perfectly. If the minimum wage did for raise above that, like some people that want 50,000, they wouldn't have a boss, they wouldn't have no job because them boss wouldn't be able to pay them. You know, so they are not about development. They are like a group, not a political party. They are like a cult, a gang. They not care about nothing otherwise than something coming at them and about the free handout. And most of the older people, the PNP party is being held up by older folks. Isn't it? The elderly, we have to tell we say we're not the young but no storm. Isn't it? And all they speak about is manly, what manly did this, manly did this, manly did that. You understand? They don't care about Jamaica. Them don't even care about their own party for that matter. Them not care about them leaders. It's all about what them can get. Them leader and give them something they will. Them change against them own people them same way. You know, so we really can't This man, when I listen to the youth where come up, the man says something about Andrew Holness when come like him push a spirit through my brain. I say, why you would really say that? So on a platform like you try if put in a narrative, isn't me? Me can't have a conversation with a diegetic supporter, what them call themselves of the People's National Party. It will only come to one conclusion where they will say both of the party are the same, just to justify themselves, And that's that me don't say still about the free handout. Them just like that. Them no want a party, them no want a security, them no want a development. Them not care nothing about them something.
They just want to put in a little piece upon my darker shades. You see, people at Jamaica, they're cultured to believe that when the Prime Minister will raise minimum wage, that means that their pay is being raised. That is the cultural mindset, and it is wrong because since the truth is, since Andrew Holness people start learning about politics and policies, honest to God, because the elders, me respect Chuck highly, me respect Protecting J.A. highly, and me respect Darker Shades. As a young youth, as a young Jamaican born and bred, me respect Christopher, right? These man teach me as a young youth the right path for what. But when you look on some other old elderly man, where I decide say them them not teach you nothing but them not teach you the right or point to the right direction as a young youth, right? They might try to teach you, they might try to indoctrinate your mind and I tell you a lie. You get them and say, and you can't respect that, bro. You get them and say, because as in Andrew Holness time, people start learning about policies and what it means to be a government and what is required of a government. Because PNP not teach nobody nothing, bro. One of them is old.
Them only say them about do, but them not explain how them are go about it and what it's gonna happen.
So that's why you hear them about minimum wage and them look insignificant and irrelevant conversation because them conditioning of their mindset when the government go in a parliament and say a $20,000 a minimum wage. That means you get a pay raise. Your boss supposed Monday morning me I got work. Yeah, my boss me pay raise, the government say $30,000 you have to pay me now. And that is so dumb and so stupid, bro. Minimum wage is not like that, and that is the cultural mindset of the people. And it come from the People's National Party. You understand?
Yeah, but make a reason 100 like. But the opposition leader say, bring the threshold up to the income tax threshold, up to $3 million. That's what we want to bring it go, right? When he got his chance to present his budget, nothing of that sort was mentioned. You don't mention nothing about that. The question was asked in an interview. Why you never mentioned that if you don't believe in it anymore, or if it was just a fluke? You understand what I'm saying? And your answer to that question is based on the fact that it is gradually moving from 1.5 to 1.6, 1.7, say 1.8.
Yeah, they are 1.8.
It has a trend. It's trending up. So eventually it will get to 3 million. So we can look to doing other things now rather than bring. So you're now conceding that the government is doing the right thing. They're trending the income tax threshold rather than fling it up at one part, at one place where it create problem. Because what I'm gonna understand is that when finances trend, that's the proper way to go. You understand what I'm saying? If it is that you used to save $5,000 this year, and you say, boy, next year, I'm going to raise it to $6,000. Based on my salary, I can put on next $1,000 upon it. And then the next year, I put on next $1,000 upon it. That's a trend you're setting as it relates to your finances. You understand? So that's the proper way to go. But you come and tell the people and say, yo, we're going to move it from 1.5 and fling it up at 3 million. For do what? Make them jump up and clap and say, hey, hooray. What goes so?
He thinks
What they don't understand, Darker Shade, and this is another thing we have to credit Nigel and Andrew for. Nigel and Andrew Wallace make people know, say, when the government says or promise you something, somebody has to pay for it. Everything where the government promise you come at a cost. And that is what people are now learning because of this administration, that nothing where the government say no free. Things come at a cost. Somebody have to pay. So either them are going to borrow some money or them are going to tax you. And that we have to credit Nigel Clark to make people understand that.
May I jump in out? I kind of want.
Yes, genuine.
Me endorse everybody argument just now, but one of the things what people now understand, a man is an economic animal, right? Similar to how you run your household, that is how the government is basically running the country. So the government basically looks at the finances, looks at the priorities, and over time what this government has done is based on the sacrifices, they are able to build up buffer, right? And what they have done now is to say, listen, we are reducing our debt to GDP, right? And as you rightly said, darker shade, once that goes down, the government can now increase the threshold gradually. The PNP, on the other hand, works with optics, right? So they play on the minds of the ordinary Jamaican, so to speak, right? And work with optics, whatever is trending now, and whatever them can, it's social, and I blame the journalists now. The journalists, especially mainstream journalists now, right? Because everybody seems like I'm a journalist right now. The mainstream journalists, for me, they are not doing a good job in terms of questioning the narrative. And then you have economists, some of them too, because them polarized and them political, they are not coming out to set the record straight. I'm going to give you a classic example of what I'm talking about. Now, Dayton Campbell would have come out and said that we should tax, put a tariff on, just like Donald Trump, put a tariff on food items coming into the country to fund agriculture. Now, what he doesn't realize is that if that were to happen immediately right now, that would drive up inflation. Then the Bank of Jamaica, I've said this more than once, the Bank of Jamaica would basically, to counter inflation or drive up interest rates. What you find now is that people who have variable rate mortgages or variable rate loans, they start to pay higher cost in terms of the loans that they are the loans that they would have taken out. So their policies, more or less, over time, will create another FinSec 2.0. They don't have any vision, just like in 1991, 1992, when they flirted with the idea of liberalizing the dollar and then concretized that idea. And when persons were saying to them, listen, the NIR wasn't strong enough to basically support that sort of move, they went ahead and did it, right? Because how they operate, they don't listen to good reasoning, right? Anything them said, them run and do it without looking at the finances. And for me, if Jamaicans do not understand how the PNP, they communicate these grand announcements, just like in Parliament the other day, and don't know, and don't put any figures behind it. And then one day after you come with a press conference because you realize your blunder, if people don't realize that these people don't know what it is like to really run a country efficiently, the people should not put them back in power. It's a classic example of them come and flap themselves basically in Parliament. How can you come to a budget presentation and you come to say you never presented a budget? Then shut your mouth. When you go to say you have nothing to present, and shut your flipping mouth. Don't come and tell people foolishness.
Because, all right, can I interject a little bit? Just to, I want to say good morning to all of the labor right intelligent people. Man, man, show a labor right. No, You see, a fiscally prudent individual, whenever that person is going to, when you look at the economy and you're going to craft a program or come up with any kind of pointers, right? There are two things that we have to look at. You have to look at the benefit and the consequences. Is it that what you are about to be instituted or implemented going to have some benefits, or are it going to react with some consequences? And this is a thing that I believe that the PNP, anybody at all in the PNP, I don't leave out none. Any one of them in the PNP, them not stop to look at implications, the benefits, and even if they are looking at a benefit, they are looking at the benefit for something else in a short term, only for their cause. But they are not looking at the benefit which is going to happen, or the consequence of what they are suggesting is going to happen down the road. Because how is it now that you're going to jump and just come up with an idea, say, look, the farmer them are ball, you know. So therefore, here we are going to do. We are going to put a tariff. Right? You know, look at the national implications of that, you know. You know, look at the common man. You know, look at a case where the thing is going to raise and affect the lesser spending power people them. You know, look on them, there's something you just come up and just jump up something.
That is right. Yeah, the problem. So this is the problem with the PNP faced in the last two elections. We have now people are being more educated about the politics. Like I said, before then time, the PNP needed a catchy slogan to win an election. We put people first, better must come, time come. That's all they needed. And they tried that. They come out with time come, and then they run with it. People start asking time come for what? That now make, so them tone it down. We are going to ride home a corruption horse to victory. The Integrity Commission are going to help us bring down this government. Yes, one reporter will come and we are prepared for election in a 2023. 2024 we are prepared for election because the report are going to come out and it's going to be so damning. They're going to have to call election. They set up the media house. Remember, you know, that Gleaner. 177-page document. And Gleaner was able to put out a report half hour after it was tabled in Parliament. That means that report was written and put on and waited. They try all of that.
Every breeze.
And they were forced back into the corner where people tell them, say, no, come to the table with something. What are you going to do? And they give them 2 days to come up with one little foolishness. We then go to Parliament and read it out, and them supporters jump out and tell us the greatest budget ever. And then the same man come out and tell us, well, it wasn't really a budget, you know. It wasn't really a budget, so you know, no follow that. I never no budget with that. So they are being forced now to change how they do politics, and them no have no idea what to do. Them get catch flat-footed. The corruption jump no work.
No.
The catchy slogan no work. Food promises no work. What else are gonna come with? The next thing them are gonna take is take it to the street and start civil war.
Chuck, my godmother used to tell me, say, two voters win election, a police and soldier and nurse. When them whosoever them people they vote for, them normally win election. That my grandmother always tell me. I don't know how true it is, take it with a pound of salt, but them people they vote one day every election, when you know, say, I feed them the if you vote today and tomorrow, everybody else get a chance to vote. Every election, she always say, when them the people they vote today, and whosoever them vote for always win. Right? So me say that if you say, Mark Golding come with these sweet mouth, things say people irresponsible, and people don't know, say, we can't spend we rent money,
Educated people.
and tomorrow we live a road. We can't feast today and famine tomorrow.
No.
Right? People have sense. So when he come now, and him a go give it this, and him a go give it that, and him a go give this, and him a go plug, and him a go take 10, him a go take $11 million out of budget, and him a go give away one house where, and a them a go give away house on the free land, and them a go feed every 400, how much picking in a school, and them a go do this, and them, and nobody no say, all right, you have a good proposal, you know, make sense, but how much it a go cost, where that a go sacrifice the country, what state, who a go pay for that. Me and you go in a supermarket, you know, and the most nicest thing me and you can do when we go in a supermarket, we are go buy this and we go buy it. But when you go to cashier and the cashier say, how that a go? How that a go? You get what I say? It's easy if you go in a store and say you want the top shelf liquor, you want the most expensive car, you want the biggest, but how money that go? When the price come, who are going to pay for it? Oh, talk to me about that. The part there.
That is where them get stuck.
And
People are
that's,
asking that question.
yes, people lick them now. People say, that I go.
But you say the thing about it, you know my problem with the whole situation, Chuck. People are fixated on what they think or believe in. You're fixated on what you're thinking or who you are or what you believe in. But what kind of foolish is that? That you can't fix yourself that way, the Virgin. So if I am fixated on handouts,
Darker shades.
protecting Rush rotted.
Darker shades.
Yeah, bro.
And not just fixation, you know. You see, we have to understand how the mind works, you know. If you understand psychology. The PMP have understood psychology for a long time, you know, because guess what? Dictatorships over the world from the 1920s understood how the mind worked. They did a great study on psychology. And so warfare, World War I and World War II, you know, were won on psychology, you know. Those wars, those two wars were won on psychology. And so it is the same approach the PMP have taken from those days to now, and they have actually perfected their approach. It's simple. Look at it this way. It's simple, you know. And because it is so simple, ourselves, and especially others who present themselves as intellectuals on the JLP side, it literally either blow over them head or it flow underneath them, and they do not understand it. What do I mean by that? Look how simple it is. If you repeat the lie often enough, it becomes truth. That is it, you know, simple. All you need to do is tell a man who is working minimum wage, say him a suffer, but tell him say a somebody cause it. And repeat it 1,000,000 times a day. And remember me tell you, before a week done, he will start believing it.
Mental programming is like...
It's a mental program. And guess what? The flip side of that, those who have the truth and profess the truth believe that they don't have to repeat the truth using the same method. And that is what I've always caught the JLP off guard and on the back foot. Just like how the lie has to be repeated, the truth must be repeated too, especially in this time that we are in. Remember back in our days, you know, only 1 or 2 media house or media mediums exist, you know. Nowadays, it is social. Media have become social. So we have a problem, and it's a big problem. Yes.
Yeah,
So
man,
we
they
need to
lose their respect,
understand
man.
that, listen me, if back then we didn't need to repeat the truth just as how the lie was repeated, just imagine what we have to do now. We have to put the
Protecting
truth on
JA.
steroids. The
Protecting
truth has
JA.
to go on steroids. Yes, madam.
Here is another way the PNP approaches the poor. You see it? By creating them. What them do, them fix the system in a way where them cause the people to get hungry. Right? When the people hungry, then feed them. Now,
But
when
why
you
they
feed a
allowed to
hungry
do that?
man, you know, when you feed a hungry man, you capture him brain.
No man,
And
we
you
are
fix
talking.
him eyesight.
Well, I know man, we are talking about the diagnosis of how what caused the problem. We
Yes.
we're not the point as a medical man in a medical field. You have to first find what caused the problem. The problem is caused by first you tell a man say the reason why in the bottom my pile
They tell me say a PNP, you know.
are because of certain conditions. But then what you do now?
Yes.
You fix him in from early, you know. You turn him mind away from who we are going to cause. And you are going to cause the problem. You know? And you are going to cause the problem. And you are going to cause him to poor and remain poor. But what you do? From early out, you tell him, see, somebody else cause it. So while him did there focus on the somebody else where you tell him say cause it, you are create the system where you make him perpetually be poor. And then now by the time him realize that the system really poor for you, you come like you are the savior with the solution by giving him something because him poor.
Exactly.
Because you already tell him say, and the next man cause him for poor, because you come now and give him something because him start believe him poor, him start see you as the savior of the poor. So it is a complete situation, you know, in a former Soviet war, you know. In a Soviet war, it's a complete situation.
Let me give you the mechanics of that. Them say in a Cuba, when them go to the schools and they are indoctrinating the students about how good the regime is, they will walk into a classroom, 5 or 6 year old. Do you love sweetie? Yes, we love sweetie. Do you want sweetie? Yes, we want sweetie. Close your eye and pray to God. Ask him to send you a sweetie. The kids will close them eyes and them pray. When they open them eye, no sweetie. Close your eye again and pray to the regime for a sweetie. Then close them eyes. While them a pray, they walk around and then put on sweetie on them desk. Open up your eye now. Who gave the sweetie? The regime. Who do you believe in? The regime. And that is how them indoctrinate them.
And where is that coming from, Chuck? It is coming from Soviet warfare. It come out of Russia and all those places. And guess what? It is coming out of the camaraderie movement. Remember, all of them are comrade, you know. We have to understand how these things come, you know. And that's why you will never hear, from me born till now, I never hear the PMP teaching the youths to go learn a trade. I never hear the PMP teach the youths them that you can live a better life if you try harder. The only reason why the PMP kept our trust afloat, even though they shut down a lot of the off-site them, the reason why they kept them afloat is because they were already in these regions and there was government budget already financing some of them. That's why they keep some of them afloat. The PMP hated our trust. There was one time where them did a plan for lock it down. Because the PMP don't want nobody to be independent, because if you're independent, they can't tell us the regime give away your ask. Because they know say.
Okay. Protecting JA.
Well, answer, let me hear winner. One and only they're in the place. Winner. Sir, winner.
Me there look at us on breakfast. Give somebody this floor. Me soon come. No, me soon come.
Some break who? At lunch I look at a man for breakfast. You're supposed to break the fast long time.
Elite, I want to say something to Elite. Elite, this is the first time I really see you on TikTok. I watch your program.
A couple times, man.
Well, first time I seen, to be honest, I watch your program. Although I follow you on TikTok. I watch your program on YouTube, and you are one of them who basically was educating Jamaica. One of the things that
So
you
much.
would have done that I've always spoken about was the FinSac era, and you created a nice video. I want to say nice video. It's a good video, informative video, but the story behind it, the reality behind it is sad. Home electrics.
Home electrics.
And you,
A lot of people
yes.
don't know what is going on with the home electrics, you know.
All right.
And me tell people say home electrics, courts, singer, and all of them have nothing about home electrics. Home electrics was like the store to go
Right now,
back
me
in
I
the
get
days of year one.
goosebumps to talk about it, bro. Me I get goosebumps. Because them people, me really did feel it for them, the owners, I swear.
Tear down the man them business place, and people are gonna make it look like PNP good for the country. Yeah.
No?
Cheese and peace, man. The people them want to buy back them place enough for most about 35. You brought it out 35 cents in the dollar, and you take it and sell it for 25 cents in the dollar to a foreigner. You don't like your own black people, them.
You see,
You know,
you
like, like corporate Jamaica.
I don't want to say it here, so, but it's the of that person where them sell it to. Check the name there and see how much business in doing at Jamaica and how we get doing those business under the PNP.
You see, Elise, when we mention some of them things about things like, you know, what if a people believe that me I tell lie, you know, a politics, you know. When the first time me tell people, you know, Elite, say, a group of Jamaican businessmen approached the government and wanted to buy the FinSac assets for 50 cents on the dollar, and the government refused and then sell it to an American for 10 cents on the dollar, you know.
Remember, them sell 7 bank in a one package one time.
In a one package, yes.
Workers Bank we used to do so much for so many people. Wonder how
Union Bank.
How them still support the PNP after that when them mash up Workers Bank we used to support them, and them still support the party we do that to them. I can't understand. So you see the programming, the social programming we're protecting Jay I talk about, it's a reality. It's like what the Nazi do. Sorry if you use a word. Then we play one song over and over and over and it will torture you. And you come to that conclusion what them want you to come to. And at the same thing them do. You know?
They must sing this.
Then elite. Watch out. Me went on a site, you see? Me go show you say where protecting JA say is right. I see him so it go. I went on a site, you know. This guy, he having Chris car and he having good trade and he working good money. You see me I say? And yet still the man classify himself as poor, and the JLP no love the poor. When the man get the utterance out of his mouth, the man, half of the people on the side walk away, you know. He divide the people, you know.
But that is true.
Well, I said better than that, you know. I said before there was a video on TikTok with a man, and this man, you know, was complaining about minimum wage, you know. And here is his problem. He said, "Me just have to license my truck for 280,000. Me have to license my bus for 100,000, and me have to give me baby mother $28,000 a month. How minimum wage I go ahead? Now that is a successful businessman, you know. But he have a problem with when he now work minimum wage. That is how they operate.
Yeah, there's a very, as I said, there's a very distraught thinking amongst the population of Jamaica when it comes to minimum wage. And you know one thing will allow the PNP party if it get away with and them still are not the drum, and I don't know how we're going to counteract them, is that poor people concept and the song where them keep singing about poor people, right? But me have a thing now when me I debate them online, when me I use and I weaponize them, and I said, them People's National Party will love talk about poor people and act like them are the savior for poor people. Them tax the smallest occupation where an individual can have in the country of Jamaica is pushing a hand cart where a man decides to insult one lady with 6 bag and him a go push it for her. And she give him a change. Or one market woman have too much load. And he push it for her and she give him a change. These poor people party.
Well, the finance minister did say about the anti them one time.
Yeah,
Peter Phillips, when did say about them one time?
What did say?
In this then drive on the road.
You want
Ah,
to
yeah.
What you need for use 100 life. Good afternoon again, everybody. Is ask them in Mark Golding's presentation what has he presented for the same people them who hungry and suffer. Tell them to highlight 2 things that will make their lives better. Because according to them, people can't buy food, people hungry, people underpaid. What has he said in his budget that will alleviate those stress and burdens that they're undergoing?
But good afternoon again, our panel.
Hey, winner.
And let us add the most detrimental thing to Mark Golding's plan. Right? Him already saying now implemented it in the first year, then he come back the next year, say, oh, yeah, I'm gonna implement these 23 things in the first year using the government's budget. With the current trade war that is taking place and the rapid increase in inflation that is gonna come, the United States is already feeling it. Right, I'm watching several videos across TikTok where they're showing price increase. Listen, guys, people over US are crying tears. How is then Mark Golding is going to fund all of these promises that you have made, over $200 billion in deficit in our budget? How is he going to fund them and still create a buffer that will protect Jamaica from these problems that are to come? And we already know that the Jamaica Labour Party has been tried, tested, and proven in protecting Jamaica from all of these things. We had it in the global financial meltdown between 2008 and 2010, and then we had it in COVID-19. The PNP destroyed Jamaica when there was no man-made or natural disaster taking place. Mark Golding was there when PNP created a natural disaster for the people of Jamaica, and they're planning to do it again.
I don't really want to quote an exact figure, but when Manley did win the election, remember the country did build up the purse already, they build up the coffers, When Manley win the election, I'm not sure if it was 2.7 million US, 27 million or 270 million, but the amount of money that he got in the country's purse, it was all given away to dance and through the work program where them said them that do, where them say 700 and odd people are going to get work, and where them say 70 people are going to get work, but them write out 700 and odd checks to people we all know we can't know who get them check there. You see, so them they destroy them. So that them are wait upon somebody said them are wait upon the NIR, them are wait upon that to spend for them.
Protect Elite Jamaica. He inherited a net international reserve of $146 million.
All right. Thank you for the correction.
You mean we rent money?
Eh?
We rent money, PNP said you rent money.
My plan to drink out the rent money already winner. So keep planning the money now.
Yeah, but just
money.
but just we say Jamaica is in a position where we are gonna become in probably the next 5 to 10 years we're gonna become the #1 economy in the world, in the Caribbean. Sorry, if we stay upon the path we have in terms of the oil trade, we will have a going where we refine the oil for Trinidad because of the bankruptcy we feed them oil refinery going on, right? So it's cheaper if we refine them oil, and then we in the negotiation process with Guyana because the basically when I do the research, Guyana
is below. All right.
The tariff.
No, like the tariff. For them oil reserve because Guyana have oil, and they need a refinery, but for them plowing machine or for them thing basically it's too big and Guyana is below sea level.
Yes,
right?
That is a major thing. That is a major thing. Yes. And they will never be able to get a refinery.
Yes, so for them refinery, but to it one small enough where we can do it.
Not the refinery, but they would not be able to dock huge ships to take out the bunkers.
You can dock for full up the ship them. So, but Jamaica we set a way where one can do it. Basically, me a paraphrase of what we read, but we set a way where we can do it and give them back our money and we get our money. So we're gonna have two, we're gonna refine for two and Guyana have the most island like Caribbean according to the where them name Pat sitting under the oil people them. OPEC Guyana have the most island of the Caribbean and we are gonna refine. But the negotiation is ongoing and we don't sort out the deal with Petrojam and Trinidad already.
Who do you trust in
Yeah,
negotiation?
but
You get what I say?
I can't feel it well. I can't feel it well. Alright.
but one of the things you know,
We
winner.
can't make
One of
Mark
the things you know,
Golding
winner.
touch that, bro. We can't make them touch
One
that.
of the things you know, winner. This Petrojam place, you know. I remember say Edward Seaga and then Edward Seaga then they buy it back from. I think who them buy it back from? Who them they buy it from again? Was it Check Esso?
Yeah.
Yes, so
See, that's important. I don't refer them company.
the JLP, you know, has always made strategic moves, you know, to ensure that, listen, the country benefits going forward. The PNP have no idea when it comes to these things. You know?
Every time you left PNP in the house, them sell the appliance, them and when you come back, we have to buy them back.
Jesus.
Buy them back.
Boy. Are they
Like one little cokehead cousin, is it?
That is an excellent way to put it.
Isn't it? Them come in like one little cokehead cousin where you'd have. As you left them sell everything. And you come back, you have to buy back everything. And it has always been like that, so I'm not sure. And you see, one of the things with them used to, you know, so the People's National Party is very ingrained in religion also in Jamaica. So you find, say, them use that too, isn't it? So that's how them control enough of the older folks, you know. Isn't it? And them thing you may say still, even though, well, you know, where my vote lie, but at the end of the day, I don't really preach politics, but I've been saying these things over years on YouTube, and them thing are years of research, isn't it? Yeah.
You say, just as me say, it's showing at them, you know. That's why you have so much of them passing or come out. But let me say, we can switch a little bit, because I look at things in the news over the weekend.
Hold on. I want to say one thing. Mark Golding was on TV, JD. Let somebody say, yo, he will go to news stations who will not challenge him on potent questions. And that's why I avoid nationwide news, because they're always pressing those people believe in investigative journalism. They asked Mark Golding about his plan. He was talking about crime and he was talking about, you know, the peace initiative, government defunded, and ray. I'm like, what is Zozo? What is Zozo? Is Zozo the peace initiative that government is using, right, to rectify issues within violent towards community? The same one I hear Patricia Duncan Sutherland call out the other day, along with Mark Golding, say your government I utilize this too strong. And we already getting results from that. Murders down 35%. Also, as you talk about justice, as you talk about peacekeepers with justice and the peace and all of those people, retroactive justice, I can't remember the name. Something about they have a program now.
Restorative justice.
Yes, we have empowered the people of Jamaica with a number of these people, record-breaking number of persons to rectify small issues, right? Going to communities, educating people about all of these simple things that we cause violence amongst families, because some of those are from domestic disputes and whatever, and then we have these also solving the crime situation, riddle situations.
The gang-related ones.
And just to say about Zozo, you know.
Why is it that Mark Golding is facing on that one aspect? That little tiny thing, and the journalists on there, this is Mark Golding. Like,
because one time in the
catch is rubbish, because you have the Zozo, you have all of these things. Why are you coming to us? And look at Mark Golding constituency. For months they've been calling out to Mark Golding. Yeah? At the start of the year, Mark Golding constituency recorded the highest number of murders in Jamaica. And to date, we have not seen him over there champion any peace initiative. Nothing. If they can't solve it in their constituency, we're going to solve the whole Jamaica problem.
Let me say,
them news people are disgust me.
You see when me did go to school and we get my prefect badge, I didn't want to be head boy. And you see, we did already have a head boy. So if you be head boy, me have to perform better than the acting head boy we did there already. What may I say still? I don't see no diplomacy in a Mark Golding. The other day, I went on an interview, and I don't know if a lot of people see this interview, but the first question at the interview was, do you think, well, it wasn't the first, but it was the first they played at the start. Do you think the Prime Minister, do you think Andrew Holness is a good Prime Minister? And his answer, Mark Golding's answer was, I think he has served his 9 years and he needs to go. What kind of an answer is that coming from somebody who's looking to lead a nation? I mean, if you always talk good about the country, isn't it? Talk about what you can do better than what the party do now. But him not do that. Him, no. It's like a parent who will do anything the child say just so that the child can say them love them. So these party leaders, if the people them say something, them are gonna do it just so that the people then vote for them and not looking at the fact that it's gonna bring Jamaica down in our hole. You understand? We not understanding. I mean, I don't know why people. Oh, no, it's confusing to me.
Just before we switch, Chuck, right? On the Garrison, on the Zozo thing, right? But Elite, winners mentioned, it's gonna be a huge dent in a freedom campaign policy. Why? Because the communities that are held, that was suffering from violent crimes, they might rejoice under the Zozo initiative. So, and you get what I'm saying? Because if you have multiple people from these guys who me conversate PNP to in a minority of me from TikTok live. See them a born bred PNP and they'll never vote JLP. But you see the Zozo in a community, they don't want Mark Golding to touch it. And Mark Golding decides him go touch it. So he don't know what him go do as a voter, because if Mark Golding move the Zozo out in community, then he knows that the community go back down to the hell. But he not vote JLP. But he know Mark Golding a push against the Zozo is wrong, but he say him a JLP and he a PNP and he not vote for JLP. You get what I say? So that mindset, the utterance alone.
And 100, that is the mindset of mashing up Jamaica. Cause you want the goodness of the thing, but you don't want to vote to get the goodness of the thing. You understand? So that is the hypocrisy that something that talk about. You see the mindset of them. You see the thing that go affect you, and you know the man they come and go move the thing that go affect you, but yet you insist, boy, you're not going to vote. You go. It is stupidness. And we need to move away from those things.
It's stupid, because that the argument they switch you. I think I'm Shami live with that talk, man. And they say argument they switch you because we say why.
That is stupidness.
Notice the position that the government takes. Because Andrew Holness is reading the room and he understands what is happening.
Yeah, bro.
The position that the government has taken is choose Jamaica. Why Andrew Holness have taken that position? My own analogy of the situation is, for 4 years now, we have seen the PMP put together a messaging. They brought it to America and they are spreading it over Jamaica. I think they do an island tour about 4 times already. And what's the message? Hate Jamaica as long as it's Andrew Holness leading it. Here, I want to see this sinister plot them, because these things are part of guerrilla warfare and a part of them own training is to launch these bombs right before your eyes and we don't even see them explode. The PMP is practically trying to drum up support on their mission, telling Jamaicans, hate Jamaica as long as it's Andrew Holness leading it. But love Jamaica when the PMP take over. And we have to push back against that. And that's why I think the government has pivoted on this new mission, this new message that says, choose Jamaica. Because at the end of the day, if we do not send a message out there that the people of Jamaica should choose Jamaica, to show you how the PMP are corrupted in their thinking, as the person said a while ago. The PMP is willing to sit down and don't vote if they are upset. If they are upset with the party, because they don't choose Jamaica. They only choose Jamaica when the PMP is leading it. But hate Jamaica when Andrew Holness is leading it. And there's so many different little sinister approach that they take that we have to be able to identify. And that's why when I speak the way I do. Because we must have to pick up Andrew Holness. What they're trying to do now, they're trying to take away the credit from Horace Chang for bringing crime down. Because they realize that they cannot win the crime message anymore by saying that murder is wicked and rampant. They have now pivoted to say it is the police and the commissioner. But we know who are the foot soldier in the trenches must big up the general, and the general we are leading the army is Horace Chang and Andrew Olneska at the Prime Minister as the Minister of Defense, which is the last line of defense in the country. And we must big them up, we must put it out there to remind people that the police could not fly around in a helicopter if the Prime Minister Horace Chang never buy them.
But you know, but protecting, remember see at the same bunting, you know, say instead of buying these what they call it now, Coast Guard ships to go around and patrol Jamaica, if you take the money and get fisherman. And fisherman gear. Whenever you're not in my life, go say it.
Pass the conversation past this or somewhat, you know. We can include it, but they are trying to take the credit away from the government because they know election we are going to, you know, guys. We have to understand the politics, you know. It is the JLP against the PMP. So if they take the credit away from the JLP and put it on the police and the soldier, then the people will not recognize the JLP. And we have to focus now and say that the JLP caused this, and that the JLP make that happen, and that the JLP do this. We have to understand political messaging, you know, guys, and that's what the PMP always put themselves out ahead everybody in. The little pitney SpongeBob argument where Peter Bunting come, we can include it in the messaging, but the conversation need to be, it is the JLP that created the economy so that more money can be invested into the Ministry of National Security. We have surveillance
working conditions.
We have
working conditions
vessel, and we have about 20 shark boat, high-speed boat to come. We need to put that at the feet of the government, because when we realize the PMP skillfully I try to say, oh, he's the commissioner and he's the JDF chief, because guess what? Them don't want the JLP to get the credit, and the JLP must get the credit.
Yes, it's protecting me share your remorse when it comes to the fact that we can't get best of both worlds when it comes to our leaders. Our leaders decide that them not vigilant in I feel, them not as aggressive when it comes to politics as the PMP masterminds. Them focus on doing the work, and them we are upset the work speaks for itself. Right? But as you say, the warfare aspect of it, me not feel like say we focus on it as much as we should be. Right? And we as bloggers bring the warfare to the PMP. Right? But
yeah, real 100 life. I think the media house them biased because all of the development we're going to Jamaica.
Depend on media house, brother. And we should have known that 4 years now.
Them not on that. Them on their
we should understand that 4 years. All right, let me answer a question. The JLP depends on the work we speak for itself, right? Let me show you some simple common sense understanding of things. If you have a hammer in your hand, and if you're not lick the hammer upon the nail and the board are make no sound. So if you beat the hammer, brother, if you have one saw, you know, plug in here and press the trigger, it make no noise. The work can't speak for itself. You have to make the work make nice. I work make nice for the work if you are the work. No must you. The JLP need to open the eye.
We leader them need to be more attainable and more in tune to the violence of the warfare as we're protecting and protect. They will need to be more in tune to the fact that we engage in our time where history was
Jamaican youth. Nathaniel, may I borrow your back from more Jamaican youth. Come up here.
Who follow the Prime Minister? Who follow the Prime Minister?
Me follow the Prime Minister.
Follow him on YouTube?
Yeah, everywhere.
Follow him on TikTok?
Everywhere.
Instagram?
As in blink and wake up a morning.
That man has been champion.
Anywhere there with it. Anywhere there with it.
We know say Prime Minister Naki Jomina, but the other words, I know him alone. We need
Faber Williams, when she was education minister, she has been beating her drum. Julia Cuthbert Flynn beating her drum. Tovia Hamilton beating her drum. A lot of these people have been beating them drum, but what we have been focusing on, what the mind has been programmed that the mainstream media now carry it in a real.
Yeah, let me get
If
back
it's
to
not
that.
if it's not tagged with a TVJ or a CVM or a nationwide news or whatever, we're not in tune. How many Jamaicans go over by JIS? What is it?
But winner.
I forget the
Winner.
facts because I
How
debate
many
where we
people are
live
going to go over TVJ? How many people are going to go over JIS? You see, I'm telling you something, you know. I've said it last week, you know.
But how much
The government just
Jamaican
need to buy slots. Just like this week, Mr. Cliff Hughes play must say 2 era accounts, so 1, and then the Prime Minister did make a speech ready and then pay for the slot for the speech to be re-aired in one of Cliff Hughes program last week.
Who
And at
the
the same thing I've been saying, them have to do these
again and
things.
read the Prime Minister big old thing that we have inside of them. The page was posted in the yesterday. Yeah, my beat, but is it loud enough?
For example, right? What me I talk about? It's like the other day, this man going a budget presentation, Julian, and he make him utterances, right? And then him say there was a
100,000. Top up the screen and bring it to 100,000.
yeah, man, he say there is a utterance. He say I get a backlash. And he come on and go up on TikTok and he start talk. And at that time, you know, Mr. Floyd Green decides say him go this, him go, put up a video. But him have to wait for that the man they do it first before he do it. So him man already set the narrative and catch where he want.
No 100, no. Floyd Green. Floyd spend more time on TikTok long ago. I outlined every single thing. Have you ever been on one of Floyd? How long no Floyds are live?
Never go on a Floyd, right?
The information is there, but an old adage in Jamaica is we can only lead the horse to the water.
Can't indeed.
Let me touch about the point here about the media houses, because me never make it clear enough. When me say them bias, is the fact that you see most of the senior people in Jamaica, them really watch the TV station them same way. And you see this TV station, it's about scare tactic and talking about what the PNP say about the JLP. They're not speaking about development. Them now make the people them know say the country more safer, jobs are more easier to get and all of that. You will never hear that on mainstream media. So that was what I was trying to say. The mainstream really biased. And if we not put out the content so that the seniors can actually see the real thing what happened, them still are get the biased news from TV, JC and them.
Jamaica from 2022. When the guys tap up the screen, make it up. When the reduction in murder started, note how the Gleaner, this is how the Gleaner report the statistics of the police. The police will give them update on a Tuesday, and there will be nothing in the Gleaner. And they wait until probably a Friday or so. They will run a headline that says 60 persons get murdered last week.
If you're ready, you can't take me down, so we come back from my work.
All right.
They're ready to move. We come back from my work. I go and listen.
They will run a headline that says 60 persons get murdered last week. But JCF says murders is down.
Yeah. So then
in like that, they're telling you, they're giving you the mindset, don't believe this. Right, that's how them run it. They have never
very subliminal when it comes to them news.
Subliminal message. They have never ever run a message that says JCF's a crime down and leave it. There have to be a bad news story beside it.
I can't say this still. The Gleaner would have reported when you say in football father died, the Gleaner have reported that the Prime Minister have expressed condolences to Usain Bolt and the rest of his family members. But RGR reported that Mark Golden, on radio, I take the bus every morning, Mark and the driver does for the life of me, I don't know why he put it on RGR every morning. But the RGR is saying that the opposition leader expressed condolences every single morning. When I listen, I had have no choice but to listen because of the driver, right? And every single morning, it's all about the start with what the PNP update, and sometimes they don't mention anything about the JLP. And for me, that is deliberate. That is very deliberate.
That is why when Mark Golden went overseas and tell them say the media has been bought out, he could only speak with that confidence that they were for sale because he would have purchased them.
But isn't there some situation going on right now with some lawsuit between the man with it own the Gleaner company? I don't want to call him name or him. It's like him can't protect Mark no more or something like that. I don't really have it in detail. I'm not sure how true it is, but I see a lot of information going around that.
I will have to check it.
Yeah, check.
But I know that his best friend, the man we're running now, is his childhood friend. Right? And when he took over, he became, in Jamaica political history, the first media house man to have endorsed a political candidate. The first. Never happened in a life before. Right? And that was his best friend. And Marky G, with that level of support, still went to Florida and tell the people and said the media in Jamaica is against him. When his best friend run the biggest news organization in the Caribbean that has not run a negative story about him or his party since he took over.
He went on this mediocre PMP supporter platform and present 2 local letter per one later. Oh, this is the renunciation of my British whatever. The next day, the Gleaner front page. Gleaner front page. We repeat it again. Gleaner front page. Mark Golden present documents of renunciation without any follow-up story, without any reading, without the art, the picture when presented. Nothing. It does go on front page just because. You understand? Even if you try, if you read the paper where in so-called quote allegedly I put up on the YouTube video, you can't see nothing because in the darkness. You can't see what the document is. And that grab front page the next day.
100, what a lot of people are realizing under for them constitution a subject of the crown country, a resident of a citizen of the British crown. When doing politics in any Commonwealth country, them can renounce or denounce them citizenship. But if them lose and them feel like if go back to them citizenship, they can. Isn't it? It's legal once it's a crown country. So them can do that and then go back to it and then renounce it back anyway. You understand? And that's something we can research to. So when him do that, that does for sure because him can change it back the next day.
Yeah, but the thing when me ask is this: you are the opposition leader.
But not even that, Chuck. His wife is a British citizen. His kids are British citizens. So at the end of the day, if he even can't get it back to the avenue there, can get it back to your wife and he picking it there.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you are the opposition leader, the news of your British citizenship was the headline news. You renounce it and you get your papers and you went to a YouTube man to present it. You know, go upon your friend media network. You know, give an interview to anybody.
Or a press conference.
What kind of profession? Just on a professionalism basis alone, that is very.
No, why he choose that avenue is because these little podcasts have no legal standings. You can go upon them and tell any lie you want. It don't mean nothing. But what you can't do is go to a major newspaper, have them interview you, and you lie to them. That have legal standings.
All right.
I've been trying to find information on Mark Golden for a long time, and I reach a point where I reach Benjamin and Esther Nunes. Research them 2 names. I'm not going to further with that.
Benjamin and Esther Nunes.
Yeah.
Maybe we're typing it right now.
I
Right,
spend
so
I spend all
he go
my
and
days
reason it.
researching about
Document come back
that.
rolling show up on that platform, Chuck. Has the queen named Fanny instead of the king.
And the date, it was outdated to the time when it signed. The Queen wouldn't be able to sign it because she would have been dead by then.
No, so it document fraud.
Or it was
And if
something
you go
she
to
had done
England, the
before.
panic time, I try hide what it still show up.
It is allegedly fraud. Please don't say it. Allegedly, please.
Yeah, allegedly fraud. But I've also read it.
It appears to be fraud. It appears.
I've also read that there's a legal process in renouncing a citizenship. I don't know. We didn't even look specifically in England, because as a taxpayer to any former country, right, your revenue is calculated into the system of the country, right? So there's a legal processing where you have to go through for the country. Basically, just to paraphrase what I did read, people can look on it, is that for the country for basically lose for your money, you have to go through one process where and it takes up to like 12 months for do. So I just know today, tomorrow, me wake up, me want denounce. It's a process we have to go through for you get even approved for denounce the thing, because the country give you things, then give you them money, then give you them land, then give you them welfare, then give you them benefits. Then you can't just get up and say, "Oh, me gone today." Me I go. You get what I say?
When you see with a crown colony country, like like Jamaica, Bahamas, anything with it under the crown, I think it's you go through lesser hoops to become a resident of a crown colony country coming from a British country.
Yeah,
you know?
Yes.
And it's easier for him go back to being British than it was to renounce the citizenship.
Yes, basically, because even as I may say, is that the country has given you so much things over the years. Like me as a Canadian citizen, Canada has given me a lot of taxpayers' money has come to me personally. And my money go to people, yes, but we pay tax, and yet there's benefits in paying tax in these countries. You get dental benefit, you get free healthcare, your kids go to school free. You understand? And if you're not work, you go on one program where they pay you. You understand? And if you program run out, you have one next program again where you can get money. You have a program where they can send you to school. You have a program where they get, and over how much years they might give you so much things. Although you're a tax-paying citizen, you can't get up tomorrow morning and tell the country say relationship done. Me Ghana, Jamaica. It don't work like that. You understand?
Unless you didn't have your finger crossed behind him back.
All right. Unless you have your finger crossed behind your back. So there's a legal processing. So this man talk about 2 weeks and 3 months in getting things done. That's not like that. Lie, utter lie.
Untested aspirants or a battle-tested leader.
All him get them time they no 100. All him would have get the application. Same like when you go renew your license, when you get one receipt. All him do have the application thing, is it? For sure, say him go through the process. You know? So him basically a liar and a commit fraud, allegedly.
The revocation elite. Remember, the man said that when it come time to decide whether or not he will do it, he must go pray and ask. And when he said, I will do it for the sake of my party. Not the country, the party may do it for. And I say this all the while, that the difference is that Edward Philip George Siaga, when he decided to enter politics at the age of 31, I think it was, he went up to the United States Embassy and he renounced his US citizenship. No one has to ask him to, no, he never have to pray and he never have to consult with nobody. He chose to do it. He chose to stand up and say, may I choose Jamaica. This man now claims that me have to go pray, me party, and that is all him care about.
Party first, people, them, bro. Party
first.
Party.
That is the manja. party than family. And I was explaining to somebody that his last public utterance about it, he did not stand up and say, I born here, you know. Remember what he said in that press conference? He said, my wife is an African Jamaican, my children were born here, and I grew up here.
True.
That is what he said, I grew up here. So at no press conference did he ever stand up and say, me born here. No, I grew up here. That
You need to show him birth certificate. That's what he needs to do.
And he need to show the injection pan him
Never say,
shoulder.
but KD night, even though him could hardly stand up the other night, him get up and I say, my leader, ban ya.
And you know, one next thing too is that as a leader, all right, when you become prime minister, the first thing you become authority over is the army of the country, because they are your first directive as a general to them. Them report to you. The soldiers of the army of the nation report to you, right? So you are them under your jurisdiction. If you tell them jump, they say how high. But you cannot come with your dual citizenship. You pledge allegiance to somewhere else, and then you come and lead one army. If you pledge allegiance to you, that don't make no sense. That is against the code of conduct of the army. You get me? I say, if you have that's the first thing. You understand? So that even in that regards, it never make no sense.
All
that
right.
is in the army, the perspective of the army. You understand? Because when me I become a citizen of this country, you have to pledge your allegiance to the country. You get me? I say that means that if tomorrow gun fi rise up against one another, you have to bust gun for this one, and if after a war done, and them a see out it, and then find out say you did a bust gun for one next country when you pledge allegiance, so that a treason that, and it is an act of death. You understand? You have to put to the sword because you commit treason. There is no hope for you again. You see me?
Facts.
the man get up on more than one occasion and blatantly lie to the Jamaican people. Him do it time and time and time again. And as I said this before, it is up to the comrade supporters to hold him accountable for those lies. Right? Every day them get up and them do them best to paint Andrew wholeness. And I said this before and I will say it again. The People's National Party, anything whatsoever they accuse you of doing, rest assured is something they have done. It's rest assured it's something they have done, they are doing, or they will do. And that's according to the Marxist handbook that they run up, that them play from. Accuse your enemy of what you are doing, and nobody will look at you. And that's what they have done successfully over the last 9 years. They have accused Andrew Wellness of everything that they have done.
Nobody will look right.
No, exactly. Nobody. So they have done it. I ask every day. I say I can present evidence of taxpayers' money going directly to Mark Golding. And I ask for the evidence of taxpayers' money going to Andrew Wellness. And the only thing you can get from comrade, boy, when get money from?
You don't see in the court.
Those are the trivial arguments we then come with. What? When do what? Why? What? You know, declare no statutory declaration.
And when them lose the conversation, the last thing them say, we're not even business your money, two of them are the same thing, them are thief.
Thank you. That is when all we're not busy, two of them are the same thing. And as you say, When asked a question about Andrew's success as Prime Minister, Marky G answered, what him do enough.
You know, that was his perfect chance for putting himself as somebody good. That was it. You see, talk good boy, your enemy, people look on you even better than him.
I can say this to you, Mark Golden doesn't do interviews well.
No.
He doesn't do interviews well.
Mr. Johnson, let me say this to you, sir. I notice you are a fan and you're always here. Right? And I thank you for the support. But as I always said to you, if you have nothing to add to the conversation, sir, I urge every day I invite you up here to defend your argument and you're unable to do so. You know? Every day you are invited here to defend your argument and you're always unable to do so. Should I extend that invitation to you again one more time?
But me I call it from Friday and to the first name answer me now.
Huh? Chucky?
No, I know you minute. I think I you Chucky at all.
I wonder.
So like in the funny so.
Alright. Now talk, Mr. Marshall Johnson. Should I extend that invitation to you again to come up here and defend your argument? Thank you, Trade. They are never able to defend their argument.
Never.
But that's what they love growing as things. And when you challenge them, funny now, they either tell you about your mother or them try to get the argument descending to some level of chaos, but then not for remove.
Some level of disarray. These, like what Trevor saying about Jamaics, me even want to dig up but kick that they dead ass there, but them have beat this about $3 trillion. Them things say $3 trillion, a little bit of money. Them things say $3 trillion. Them things say $3 trillion hard for track. Anybody?
No, hold on. You're saying me that three budget could go missing in Jamaica and we not feel it?
And with nobody, that is like you know what they must say. They must say.
Public sector get paid.
They must say no. You tell you what they must say. They must say like in the world country. They must say USA just disappear off a map, a world, and nobody have no idea who put in their back pocket. That is literally what they must say.
When I really check history of them, CM1 make people start a politician thief, you know.
You know, like how
start it, you know, with money.
You know, like how you go up. You know, like how when you go downtown, you go up the little hill there. I don't remember what that's the name, but you can look over and you see Scotiabank, the biggest building downtown Kingston. Right, you see Scotiabank, you right there, son. One morning you go down there and it's Scotiabank just disappear. Nobody don't know who put in at the top pocket and gone with it.
No, man, make it more the urban center, the transport center.
Yes, the JUTC.
Come on, then walk with the
half a tree. Tomorrow, today you get up and you see it, and tomorrow morning you go down a half a tree and you don't see no bus park.
Yeah, man.
Oh, who take Andrew Wellness put in 928 bank account? You think the tree? Them people, they don't know what $3 trillion is, and they come on platform in front of people and talk about $3 trillion missing over.
They know, my brethren, they know the truth. Half of these people who are talking about PMP, they know the truth. But in order to win power, you have to tell a lie, and tell it so good that even the man who do look a bit of research, you gaslight him to the point where he start doubt him oneself and doubt him research. Because that is how you win power. Yeah. You, as the opposition, you can't tell the people the truth. And the PMP has been caught telling the lie over and over, and yet people still believe them. Even when the lady from Jump who started this whole foolishness came out and say, oh no.
You see when you lie.
The Auditor General coming to Parliament and say no. PMP is still around with this $3 trillion missing argument.
You see when you lie with it just take one breeze, you know. You see, lie don't have no foundation where you can stand on, right? So when you perpetually, I tell a lie, all somebody need to do a blow up on a lie. Ask one good question and it derail everything. The train start crash, boom, 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 boom. You understand? A lie don't have a good foundation and nothing to stand up on. One good question,
And that is why Mark Golding don't sit in front of investigative journalists. Right? He presents a question, he asks me this. These are the questions that I will answer. And him go and he research and he prepare for those line of argument. He will not sit in an interview and just be asked questions right after the bat. And I said that's why I avoid nationwide news. And the people realize him avoid nationwide news and when he label it as an incubator for the JLP. And therefore when he avoid it, nobody now go look for him because he must say, yo, here what. We now go over there so because they must support the Jamaican Labour Party.
Just to add to your point, when you see the idiot PMP man, we are talking about him, I go make, $1 of coffee, me gonna make it sell for $22,000 when we come in the power.
Oh God, man. Wickedness can't done, man.
Embarrassing himself for nation.
Embarrass himself.
It was
and what them not understand is that this generation of people, we investigate everything. We are look through it, we are research it. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I don't know if the PNP supporters have been dumbed down or are just dumb people vote for the PNP. Because some simple things, like seriously.
You see, like how we can stay here and articulate. Because, alright, me personally, me not speak for the next man. If a next man in a box I chat foolishness, me I go call you out. And if me I chat foolishness in a box, a man call me out. You understand? I mean, take direction.
Which JLP candidate or Prime Minister can sit in our room or sit anywhere near them and them sell me garbage and I sit down and I'm not calling them up. I say, oh, police are talking.
Exactly.
Not because I support the Jamaican Labour Party means you're going to sit down and make you tell me foolishness. You must be mad.
You're mad, you're crazy. Right, but you see, we cannot sit down and articulate a proper conversation with a PNP supporter. Me applaud just because he even tried this morning and he failed. He tried with Triple X and he failed. The conversation always go in some improper zone. We are talking.
Hold on, you have Triple X again? The same Triple X. Hold on, the same Triple X that when the government came out with their initiation, the $1 billion program for the creative industry. You know, for the film industry, wanted to promote Jamaicans to make short films and long films so we can grow. Because we saw what the last Bob Marley movie did, how much millions, our 24 million US he brought to the shores of Jamaica, right? So investing $1 billion Jamaican dollar into creating a future that looks like that, where we can have more movie in Jamaica, is a brilliant idea. Now PMP come now and say, no, we not do that. We're going to get TikTokers. Triple X, no, Triple X will come in for that. And you realize, oh, Triple X, all of the other vloggers, them run out now. All of a sudden, they run out. All of them run out. Because what? $1 billion promise from Mark Golding. So, yes, because I am a labor right now, I am actively vlogging against the PMP. I don't know $1 billion they get. Chuck it out, none to get. Elite, you have none to get. 100 Life, you have none to get. Protecting J, you have none to get. Genuine One, you have none to get.
Hungry gonna kill me.
Why would they want to give money to people who actively try expose their life? So at the end of the day, that $1 billion is the PMP surrogates. That is why I feel comfortable if we go for a surrogate live to renounce him, British citizenship, him renounce him British citizenship. Because those money were already promised to PMP vloggers. Because look at the maths. Mark Golding go international and say, yo, listen, him now get no support from local media buy out by Jamaican Labour Party. Shortly after that, him come in a parliament, him say, listen, we have $1 billion to give to these content creators. Bam, content creators run out. Bam, you see, Mark Golding start up on a bag of content creator live. And they start produce short films about Mark.
Like
it's all the plot, it's plotting, promising taxpayers money to these people to promote PMP propaganda.
Same thing all over again. Handout mentality.
Exactly. And the parliament then go announce it out of nowhere. Like it was all a strategy for them against the mind of the youths. You know, because they must say, if me promise this, people are gonna go up on the platform and they are gonna start vote for PNP. When we go in, we create an avenue where we can give them money just because they are black PNP. Because they know say them will lose.
Let me ask you another question. I'm going to look on this. If I have a company that import rice, how do I get rice to sell more?
You market it.
How do I market now?
You get people to talk about it, your brand, or
how would you use government to fund that though? Make sure
You have aggressive ways to do that. You can
so
create a
how would you
shortage.
use how would you use government policies to make sure the rice sell enough?
make sure say
Think about it.
Let's start a school feeding program.
Oh.
Yeah, and another thing.
Don't ask you what- don't ask you what I want.
Hold on, no.
No, move too fast. No, see what I want.
aye.
They have a rice distribution company, the top 3 largest producer of rice, import of rice in Jamaica, and I want rice to sell more. All I need to do is use taxpayers' money and start a school feeding program.
Customer.
PMP does nothing for the people of Jamaica unless they are benefiting.
And they say that that's why.
With that, something I did want to ask earlier, because me see one video.
So when how you come up with that? Yeah, brilliant, man.
Let me hear
it. Circulate for morning, and it is quite interesting. You remember that container we was up ashore recently. Me say a man do one of the video. I read a video and the man I say, boy, I see chicken here, and this come out of it, and me can't even read the instruction on it. But me trust them people here more than how me trust for the local people them. Remember, this is something where you're fine, you know. And your statement is that you would rather eat it because you trust something where you can't read more than your local people them. So my advice is, Mr. Go eat it.
Being not touch. I remember the poison flower one time. In my research, I come across the poison flower when it come in Jamaica. So I not just nothing will just show up. So there's no one to sue. It never come through Bureau of Standards. It never approved by them, so you can't sue nobody. And
exactly.
That's my thing,
So,
there, isn't it?
You're able to do it. What is stopping you from eating roadkill? If yeah, Jack, go on the road and see one dead cow on the road, I should be able to take it up then and clean it up and eat it.
No, would I prefer eat that? Would I prefer eat one dead cow on the road? Because a cow, and you know, it's a Jamaican cow.
Chuck, me even have a recording in them. You have a recording from a PMP group with the same girl we are talking about this man named Brat. It did too long still, somebody have to stop. They might try to spin a narrative saying only 2 things can delay an election: war and a pandemic. Right? So the government ship bad chicken in the country. So people eat it and one pandemic to go broke out. So no election can keep this year.
They not say a true Andrew Wellness could get the chicken.
Let us address that.
True Andrew Wellness could get a chicken for sell, make him say they not eat it. One bag of thing me you must say.
Let us address that nonsense. PMP did that during COVID-19. Said the government is going to try to delay the election, right? That was constitutionally due February 2021. They started a propaganda halfway in the year, so the Prime Minister is going to delay and try to hold on to power longer. You know what Andrew Holness did? 5 months before the election is constitutionally due, bam them, September 3rd, 2020. Give him a general election, 49 seat won in Parliament. Local government election again. PMP started up this nonsense about September, October, saying that the Prime Minister is going to want to extend or come to Parliament again with another thing to extend local government life. Mark Golding and the PMP said, listen, we're going to take the government to court. And they start up one whole bag of, bam, election call. And now they start the same nonsense again about the general election. Listen, nothing is wrong with the constitutional, with Malahoo Fort telling Jamaicans exactly word for word what is in the Constitution. That is what the Constitution
You said it's the first sitting of Parliament every election.
Hold on. There is no argument against what the Constitution says. That is what the Constitution says. And I will say it again. It will be political suicide or unaliving of the Jamaica Labour Party to want to extend its life by 3 months when it has so much things in its machinery to give it power for another 4 terms or more. No government in the past or future will try to do that because it does not make sense. What Andrew Holness would have done is to stay in his own achievements, making the Jamaica Labour Party unable to win future elections by trying to extend the life of this government. No make no sense. So when PNP come with their rubbish argument, we have these solid points to push it down.
JLP government made some 50-year accomplishment in 2 terms. You know, we're ready for the election. So them just say them thing, them rile up them supporters with one bag of nonsense just to give them something to talk about. You know?
There is a very desperate party, you know. They don't have no limb for engpan. They don't know from a reasoning and valid reason why election.
The Attorney General, simple answer that question that was asked.
Mm-hmm.
And the PNP then went to demand clarification and what? And what? Listen to me. Listen to me. We are heading towards an election. And only one person, and by the way, something I should mention to Jamaica this morning. When he said, the Prime Minister said we were going to have fixed election date and fixed term. Under our present system of government, we have a fixed election date that is 5 years after an election is due. We don't have term limit. The only way we can add term limit is if we become a republic. And who winner is preventing us from being a republic?
British citizen, Mark Golden.
British citizen. So when they're trying to say Andrew make that promise and not fulfill it, because we have a British man standing our way.
Exactly. Right. All of that is in the current constitution. All of what them want in the current constitution. Real fixed election date and term limits and all. Those are in the new constitution that we're trying to. And the British man are blacky.
I remember when Andrew Holness won his first election. When I remember when Andrew Holness won the first election, these people come like a lock them, they don't want to lock down the country like them would have want to do over the election, you remember?
Yeah, with the 1 seat majority.
Alright. You know, them can't take losses, them desperate, and the fact is with all of that, to the mentality which coming like a religion, you know, the PNP, I don't really trust a person where I go say them a dietic PNP, they will do anything. Easy, man.
The PNP already said anything for power as long as it is in the best interest of the PNP. Now, Jamaica, no, the PNP. That is a cult.
Maybe gonna a second there.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Recently I was on a bus. There's a book written by Nigel Clark explaining how Jamaica has moved from the worst to basically moving on to be a better country. And all because I have what they call it now, the cover of the book, basically. You can remove the cover of the book, you know. Right? But I never removed it. And this gentleman saw the book while I was reading it in the bus. And the man, I'm going to show you how them PNP operate and them aggressive. This man saw the book and asked me a question. So I said to him, him asked me a question and said, well, I see I read a book, you know, and whatsoever. And I asked that question, I said to the man, listen, I have an exam and I'm reading the book to get some insights. He said, I still want to ask you a question, but I don't want to be on the bus. I don't want to have a conversation with him because I just feel same as a PNP. You can feel it. When you feel a negative energy, try to avoid it as much as possible. Boom! The man stop. Stop. Well, my phone. It's a big man. To be honest, without the politics. Anyway, the man going to say now, who are the best finance minister you have ever seen? So me, you know, I realize how me I deal with. So I say, from the PNP side, I would have to say Peter Phillips, right? Because Peter Phillips, more or less, you know, he ensured that he
very smart. He's a very smart man. What's a Jamaican? We are in politics, isn't it?
Yeah, so he continued from where the JLP would have, right? And I said to him, from the JLP side, JLP basically as Nigel Clark, but for me, all finance minister under the JLP has been, all of them has basically done a lot for Jamaica in a positive way. The man jump on me now, jump now, say, oh, so how comes when it comes to SSL, the government, the PNP would have basically suspended SSL and whatever this and that. And Nigel Clark lifted it. I said, listen to me. You have to understand this, you know. Nigel Clark cannot get involved in the regulators' work. Right? Nigel Clark is just a policy maker. And you have to understand the regulators' work. I said to the man, first thing you have to understand, the staff and the regulator basically plays an administrative role. It is the board that make the decision. But for you come now and come talk about Nigel Clark, Nigel can't get involved in administrative and decision work when it comes to a regulator. The man start palming now and tell the man to listen, man, this is why I never want to go down the road there because I realize where you're come with. You know the next day man start saying, Nigel Clark a batty man.
That's what it's about. When you always have an answer for them, that's where it always goes. Don't know the cut.
And the whole of the people them on the bus start taking on. And that's when you realize the people them they foolish somehow. Once you go down the road, I not come for no reasoning. The people them are taking on. And I'm telling people this all the while. So,
them not understand when them are going to say Andrew Holness took his money out of SSL before because him did know. What them not understand for sure, so them not deal with loans or them not know about money. Once your investment mature, you have to remove it, and if you really check it, that man thing did mature long before him even remove it. You see me? So them, I don't know. Them find all kind of things, and most of these things that they say, if the people what them say to did really look into it, them would have to say like it not make no sense. You know, because if it not make no sense, it can't be true.
But you have majority of people who are uneducated following you. I think they're more looking at one book.
And as me say, I don't want to disrespect these people, but it seems like a religion or a cult. You see, as a content creator, I make a video. If I something bad about the PNP, which is always facts anyway, you can see the difference in the comments. I do video about the dark parts of the Jamaica Labour Party, because I not be biased, because I know every prime minister do good, and every politician good, isn't it? But we not have them something in our history. And you will see the comments, even when a Labour Party supporter comment on behalf of the Labour Party, them up state facts, them explain what them say. When you can know a PNP comment from you start read it, it's always disrespectful, it's always down in the gutters, and it's always them always that says somebody this or somebody funny or somebody. It never go as towards the country or the finances of the country, the crime situation, none of that. It's always about the leader, the finance leader. Now them start on the lady, you know, and them not understand say all if you see me talk, what do you mean I talk to one elder? Sorry for you go so long. He left Jamaica at a young age, he said, and he started to work in the United States. So he want to put on $5 every week. But when him start get paid, him realize him only could have put on $2. And people tell him, say, like, how that will work? What am I going to do? Because he must say, he want to build a house. He must say, he must 74 and he must have two-story house. He must have businesses. And at the same $2 them that put on, and them used to do what he do. So when the lady said that she had an idea, say, he can save, you see me? But them take it literal. You know, and I like them not understand neither. You see me? And everything that the Jamaica Labour Party is doing is benefiting them. It's not like when the PNP in power, we adjust for them supporters get benefit. You see, roads are fixed everywhere. Infrastructure are built up everywhere. Constituency everywhere. And then still, go ahead.
More on jumping points. All right. You see the same point where you raised about favors about the $2,000. In fact, all right, I know I have worked with Favour and I work under the Ministry of Finance, to be honest. Won't tell people where I work. And I have sat in meetings with Favour and I have sat in meetings with Nigel Clark. Favour is a smart lady, you know, very intelligent and very bright, very competent. Listen, and I'm going to say this to you. I went on the road the other day and I say, because in a New Kingston, a strictly pro box is here on taxi. Yeah. So I say, well, we run a little joke, I say $2,000 buy on our pro box. I just want the reaction. And the one I say, oh, what the minister, I say, listen, I'm talk to you. Because I come like I couldn't understand certain things. I say, the threshold are going to make people save, get back $2,000 per month for the first year. 2,000 something, that's $24,000 basically for the first year, overall for the 12 months. The second year, it will increase by an additional 2,000. That will be 48,000, right? So 24 and 40, that's 72. The third year, it will increase to 6. That will be 72,000 for the year. So overall, 144,000. So I said to them, I ask them first. I say, $72,000 is 5% of what figure? Them couldn't tell me. I tell them say $1.44 million. I say, how much a Pro Box value? One say 1.2, and I say, listen, I'm going to show you our vibes. When you go to a financial institution and you're borrowing to buy a car, most of them will give 95% financing if it's not a brand new car, right? And the 95% finances is the 95% come out of their pocket. The 5% come out of yours. So that is the 5% deposit she's talking about. In fact, I said, listen, she should have embarrassed Deon Jackson Miller because I would have asked Deon Jackson, let's do some calculation. I'm going to tell Deon to take out her phone. And when we start doing the calculation, I better Deon will ask me one more question again. Because Deon understood what the lady was saying and was playing intelligent gymnastics, right? So some of the time you have to basically break it down to the common man. But I think what would have happened on that interview, probably the minister thought that everybody more or less would have understood, right? She probably thought that everybody would more or less would have understood, and that is why I've always said, I'd have embarrassed the Antos to say that why it is important to even understand basic mathematics. Because Deon, for Gwe, I mean, not say it because she clearly understood. $72,000 over the 3 years that Favor was talking about, right? That is 5% of $1.44 million, and that can more than buy. That can more than assist with buying a Pro Box. If you're buying one for $1.44 million, as simple as that. So when people are running the idiot narrative, so my time I campaign every day, every single day, because I have a campaign for Jamaica future.
Them not smart enough to say it was just an analogy, just an example, just an illustration of what them can do.
No, they know, but the PMP said it told me something because they know say your majority of the supporters don't have sense.
Tell you.
I continue to say it. Their supporters now read.
You know, they are programmed to believe that them political parties are religion, you know.
Even if they read them not a comprehension, they don't understand shit.
As I said before, there is no way the Jamaica Labour Party could say something to me. I mean, know it's wrong. I mean, defend the wrong to try to convince others that it is right. My conscience would not allow me to do something like that. Yeah. And that is why when I take this position when I'm doing my videos, it is research based and I produce evidence to
back your claims.
And even when I'm doing that, people are saying, oh, I tell lie.
Oh, God, man.
Come and say, oh, I tell lie.
No video.
The little just mind when me have, and the courtesy and the dignity when me have in me, would allow me to know that I tell a blatant lie and then run with it and swing it. And the PMP bloggers do this countless times. You reason with them on a mutual platform. As me did a point out to Chuck this morning, you debunk them and you present the evidence and you present the facts and they agree and they admit defeat. And tomorrow morning as they turn on back in live, they start singing back the song where you just tell them, say, yo, you're wrong. You understand?
You have a major one on YouTube. I now call my name still, the producer.
You understand? Yeah. So Them not have no courtesy. They not have
We alone, so I can't nobody else.
The man there,
Father
no,
God.
the man, me not even can, it's just lies and propaganda, you know? Like him, one of the 10 grand vlogger them from 2023.
Remember, it was the same PMP when a message was leaked from the PMP YO president telling that, listen, the PMP needs to start fund the propaganda machinery. Yeah? I don't know if you remember that. You could remember that.
The other day. He made a video the other day where he said, Andrew Wellness send back all of the nurse and doctor them gone to Cuba before a decision was even put out to the public, before we even know what happened. He said that, and me no know nobody never call him out on it, you know? And him do a lot when nobody now call him out on it.
It's hard work to keep up. We continue to run on everywhere because how a man that has no direction, a man that only plan is to tell lie, how you can keep track of him?
Just present facts, don't compete with him, just present your facts, your truth.
Exactly, I'm just continue to produce facts. The people who want the water to drink will come to your fountain.
The objective is just to lie, you know, and that is all him element, you know, because there's a pressure where people put upon themselves for they're not conscious of, you know. It's like when you build up a following and it is based upon lie, you inherit the pressure with the people.
Hold on. D Brown, the first year is gonna move from 1.7 to 1.8. We're gonna be saving $2,000. The next year, you're gonna be moving by another 100,000. So you'll be getting a discount, or the threshold will be moving by 200,000 at that particular point in time. Right? So from 1.7 to 1.8 to 1.9 to 2 million. In the third year, the discount or the credit will be on 300,000.
And what for really show us
you keep adding up those $2,000.
I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna explain it to you first. So first year, you save. So first year you're getting back $2,000, and the second year an additional 2,000, and the 2,000 in the first year becomes $4,000. In the third year, an additional 2,000 on the second year becomes 6,000. When you analyze each, for the first year 24, second year 48, and the third year 72. So I hope you understand what I'm saying now.
Easy 1-2 maths. And listen, I put a perfect example in front of those. Where I'm living now, I rode a bicycle for 2 years. Not because I couldn't afford a vehicle, right? Because I can go to a bank and get a loan. I decided not to. And I religiously save over 2 years. And when it save, I go and I bought my vehicle. It's a 2019 model that I bought that 2 years ago. So it'll be it was 5 years old when I bought it. And I bought that vehicle cash out of my pocket. Right? Because I saved for it. Riding my bicycle. Decided not to go to the bank. Now I have a son, right? Now I have a son, right? And I decided to listen, all right, daycare, because I can, me have to move with my wife, wherever. We need a second vehicle to do that. When I looked at my savings, I said, no, can I use my cash savings and go buy a brand new vehicle? Because at this point in time now, I don't want to have two vehicles. One that is aged at 5 years, and then another one that is aged at 5 years. I'll be spending too much on parts because they've designed this vehicle now that after 5 years, they don't need a part. So I need a new vehicle. Can I afford a new vehicle? Yes, I can. But that will be the majority of my savings would have gone to a vehicle which does not make good economic sense because you don't know what life is going to throw at you. So what me do?
Use the bank money.
Out of the savings we have, I took out 10% out of that and go to the bank. And now we have two vehicles because I made smart investment decisions. And that is what we are trying to tell people that, listen, you can save one cocoa full basket. Last year when my wife gave birth to my son, I put one box in my room. And I say, yo, any loose change when I find in my pocket. Not in my wallet, but in my pocket. Because I always have money in my pocket. So I have wallet and I still have put money in it. Right? And I say, I'm going to save, I'm going to buy some stocks in because already, before him, once my wife conceived, I know say, yo, me hear him heartbeat the first time. I had some money. I use it to buy Trans Jamaica Highway for him. Because I say, yo, this time college fund. And now, when him born, we start put the loose change them in the thing. And when me pull it the other day, because $1, some $20 and some $5 and some $10, me find 900 US in a hit. Me say, all right, whatever I have there, I go match it. And me buy Trans Jamaica Highway again when the government sell it. Anything what you want, you can save towards it and make wise investment decisions about it. Nobody ain't gonna pay you to become rich. Even if you're paid a salary as a CEO, if you don't invest your money wisely, if you don't save, makes no sense, because the more you get, the more your lifestyle is gonna change. And if you're not, if you spending more than what you're making, you put your basket where you hire
and time value of money. You understand? Time value of money.
Richard Daly, you know, as me just said a while ago, that was supposed to be an analogy, just an illustration of what you can do with the money. If you don't want to do that, you can save the money and do something else. You know, it don't have to be a Pro Box. It can be any car, for that matter.
It don't have to be a car. It can be go use it by Trans Jamaica Highway, or it can go be used by a wig. You can go use it by a fast food, or you can go use it to do investments, or you can go use it by one cow, or you can use it by one goat. You can go use it by some chicken. You can go use it by one cat. Well, PMP will tax you, but yeah, you can use it to make an investment decision because you have had that lump sum where you save up. You can go.
Me did I get to this morning, but as a content creator, sometimes I don't really want. If you notice from morning, me have talk, but me not really go straight out with. That me really want to talk the license plate on the uncart where them that try to implement.
Oh,
Whenever
God.
deep in it still. But when you say
the Pro Box was just an analogy.
Just
not
an analogy.
necessarily, not everybody will go buy a car. Oh God, man, people, we have come too far.
Showing that, I just paraphrase and just showing that for just kind of catch our argument.
Let me ask you a question. You think GSAT was a purposeful thing, you know? GSAT was a purposeful thing. You know, and this nobody will do them GSAT, and people will come out and them bright, but GSAT was designed to make sure that our people do not think, regurgitate on paper. People come out in the era where you had common entrance and you had technical exams where you had to use
common entrance good.
And your mental ability.
Winner.
Yeah.
GSAT was designed for your pitney pass exam. PEP that this government created is for you to think.
Yes, sir.
PEP.
Yes, sir. And that's
even so, no common entrance, you know, with the mental ability, you know, remember that was a part of the common entrance, you know.
Yes.
So you had the mental ability, meaning you're able to think.
Let me tell you a prime example. When I was working for Kirkvine Alumina Works, and in order for you to become a permanent worker, you had to pass a mental ability test, where they put shapes and all of these things in front of you, just appear shapes. And you have to find the one that looks alike, find the one that is not the same. And what they were trying to do is to make sure that when you go into the plant as a permanent worker, you're able to think critically, you don't make mistakes that will cause the life of people. If you're unable to pass that mental ability test, you will never become permanent worker. You will always remain on contract.
The man who create the educational system, J.D. Rockefeller, said, "No, want a nation of thinkers, a nation of workers." And up to this day, children are not taught to be business owners. They are taught to go and work for a business owner. And then so when you go to the business owner, him can't even read the application where you bring come give. Him have to hire somebody to read that, and that person have to have subjects for work for that man way. Just because him have mental ability, him have critical thinking, him have a business mind, even though him not educated as to what people that consider educated. So them still not teach the youth them how to read the thing. Because them stop teach civics, them stop teach civics, them stop teach mental ability.
Yeah? Let me show you also disconnected GSAT from the high school system and university. At these at GSAT age, they taught you how to regurgitate information. But when you reach these high-performing kids who are getting 80s and 90s and they're about 100% in their GSAT, when they went to high school where it required you to think, hello? Where it required you to think critically, they were unable to perform. They were failing. Right? These people then move on to university and was also failing, unable to think for themselves because they were taught how to swat information and regurgitate.
The illustration I'm using on the video I do, so when I go in kindergarten, kids ask some crazy questions like why we have tour, why the sun red, why the grass green, their mind open. But when I go in the high school and the college, it's like it's not there again. They are not curious no longer. Them get programmed as to what to think about and what to do. You understand? Them stop think for themselves. It's like them stop question things in society.
Which is literally what Mark Golding is doing with the PMP.
Yes.
They are telling them what to think about. They're literally telling them, don't think about art trust. So Mark Golding in them constituency are telling people them don't got art. They are literally telling them, just think about the 28 bank account. Just think about the Integrity Commission. Just think about illicit aid. That's all. They don't want to help people to be independent in mind and in purpose. Them literally practice the David Rockefeller handbook. Literally.
Where them work from. Same playbook them work from, you know. When we really look onto with the development we are going on in the country, the bridge them make a mobile. I mean the Bustamante Bridge in St. Thomas, I think are the longest bridge in Jamaica. Same way. Even if that now will be a longer bridge, it's a major project in the country. One time gone, we know say JS and them thing they would broadcast them thing there and you know would celebrate the things like
JS doing it, man. JS doing it, man. They're doing it.
I can't say JIS, you know.
Hide the progress.
Remember one time I only did something that we have to watch, you know. Remember saying
no.
no.
The thing is, you know, what I'm saying, you know, we are here, we are doing it, but I mean, them not do it. Them still I try hide the progress from the people, and as we said earlier, the older folks still watch them station. Enough of them not on social media.
No man, JIS I do it. The difference now is we're in a society that media is liberalized. It is now social. Back in the days when we grew up, if we not turn on TV, JR, turn on RGR, we not hear the government slot where all of the media hosts them have to announce.
Okay.
Them the way I hear. Nowadays we don't even listen to radio more and so. And we don't even watch regular TV more and so. So we don't see it happen. But the JIS now, the Government Information Service now, need to actively take over the algorithms or the news algorithms or especially information space as it relates to information. In the space, they need to take it over, but they're not. They see the Prime Minister now use his page for rebroadcast JIS publications, which is okay. But JIS themselves need to hire some people now we're in the information age who are technical enough to know say you have to flood the space of these things to the algorithm, pick them up and start to send them around. You know? So it is just that they are not in liberal media. Liberal media is social media. They're not. When you see our TV, Jay and Glean have to come from Instagram and TikTok now, you know it's a liberal media take over, you know, brother.
Yeah, true.
Protecting, you know what sweet me some of the time? When Gleaner and RJ start post something about the JLP, some wrong information, and then social media start beat them left, right, and center. The thing about social media people, you know, they are not. It's not like traditional news where you're unable to express yourself, you know, unless somebody invites you. You see, no, nobody can come with no foolishness. Okay. You understand?
You can't tell nobody nothing again. You're sharing information now. You're not telling me nothing.
Yeah. True.
When I did just TV and radio alone, I'm go where them tell you you're here and you don't know otherwise.
You couldn't fact check nothing.
Okay. So you can't tell nobody nothing and push it down their throat now. People are gonna say, no, I lie that because I see Promise posted this man and I never say anything.
All right.
Different. Yeah, man, for real, right now, and this is why I think the government still decide to wait a little bit longer. Because liberal media, social media is so flexible that you can literally change narrative within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and it is what is affecting the PMP now. Because for 4 years, the PMP spent time a lie. And the truth bombs are being dropped now. And when them explode, the PMP can't manage them. The PMP try over the weekend to cloud out the Prime Minister's heroes welcome into Miami, Florida. Them have about 5 or 6 other meetings. Mark Golden, them have People's Parliament yesterday afternoon. And then this morning he run gone on TVJ. And even when in the on TVJ this morning, them a lie. And in a real time, people are funny way and I tell him, say a lie, I tell. And what they are doing, they're just trying to suck up back the news cycle. But it not work because nobody literally don't want to see them. Nobody don't want to see them enough.
Hold on, the People's Parliament. No. Hold on, give me a second.
Nobody literally don't want to see and hear from them. Even this morning, you know, Mrs. Simone Clark, you know, before then close off, you know, I want little clip me see. And she asked him, but what are the plans? What are the plans them there? What are the plans? They have more to say. They have much more to say. They just release a few out of the list that they have. But they don't want to appropriate their thing. But they have much more to say and they will do it at the right time.
Maybe
them people are sick in their head. You have to tell me, say, in 3-4 months, Andrew Wallace are going to take your plan and go make legislation for it and go implement it. If you're sure now.
Protect it, I can't show you vibes. I have been watching Parliament from about 9 years old, from about 1992. And one person who really drew me into the politics was basically one named Ardley Shaw. Despite the fact that the PNP was winning each and every election, right? Ardley Shaw wasn't afraid to come and tell you his plans. Edward Siaga wasn't afraid to come and tell you their plans. And Ardley Shaw would have indicated that, listen, the cost of borrowing money in Jamaica is too high and the government needs to find cheaper source. And so said, so done in 2010 under Bruce Golding and under Ardley Shaw, the first time his interest rate below single digits. So the JLP, whether they are in JLP, whichever side of the fence they are on in terms of government, has always delivered in terms of advising the country what their plans are. The PNP, they don't. The PNP plan is all about ensuring that energizing their base and supporting their base when they come in power. And the way they do that is look at the economic variables and the buffers that we have in place and just take it and walk and give people left, right, and center, mash up the country, and then say Labour come fix it again. People don't fall for the trick. Jamaicans don't fall for the trick.
The man them use the money and buy gun and then the country down to the dogs. And them have a problem with them like cut the security forces, them like for impede, you know, the runnings of the security forces. And you know, if for example them if them come in a power, I think them will get rid of Mocha.
I don't think they might get rid of Mocha because I think under the last administration, them carry through most of the Mocha law. But what I think they might do, they might water it down, they might defund them so they can function efficiently. Once you defund them, you know, then the PMP criminal them will get take out and go to jail, you know. You can't go hunt them down. Right. Police can't go even buy gas to put in a police vehicle them where them now have. One time they never have none.
That's why them want to move so them can fight them tribal politics, them war politics.
Me not understand Peter Bunting. Peter Bunting want the government to take the taxpayers' dollar. We're supposed to fund the police. Citizens are balling in some part of the country, say, then call the police station, and the police station say they don't have no vehicle. So the money we fund the police, Peter Bunting want take that the money there. We fund the police. And go give fishermen to buy gas, put in a theme boat, go to sea, go buy drugs and gun. From the Asian them will come out to sea, come meet them. And the Colombian them. And the Nicaraguan them, like they find a couple of them in a Jamaican waters with the air. That is the PMP's plan, you know. And the PMP continue to tell the people, and that's why I tell you, say, we have to be mindful of how we communicate to the people. We have to communicate in such a way that they can understand what we're saying. Because communication really don't happen if the person we are communicating to don't understand. Peter Bunting wants to tell the people of Jamaica that murder wasn't reducing since 2020. The back end of 2022, murders went on the decline. The back end, about the last 3-4 months of 2022, murders started going down. And so by the time we enter 2023, that continued. And we can see the trajectory by we enter 2024, it continued at a greater number. And then by the time we come in at 2025 now, it continued at a greater number. And all along, Peter Bunting was telling the people of Jamaica that crime now fix, there's no crime plan, because guess what? The PMP's method of a crime plan is Peace Management Initiative. It's just a name. And what they used to do, the old man Horace Levy, Comrade Horace Levy.
The gang them sign peace treaty.
So just set up the body and give Comrade Horace Levy, the old man there, the old coolie man there. And him are the chairman. And then them pump 200, 500 million a night. And when them pump the money a night now, Horace Levy just take him pay out 100 odd million a year and pay the rest of people them. And then go in at the community them and then find it done them. And then give Dan 100,000 a week for all of the ends and buy a man liquor to keep down the peace, to keep down the war. That's how PMP fight crime.
They weren't about getting rid of the criminals. They were more about making the criminals comfortable so them not to fire them gun.
Simple. Make the criminal them comfortable. So when time war for broke out, them say, oh, I don't know no man. I don't know me, I go easy. That is not getting rid of gangs. Fighting crime and a real crime plan you don't share with criminal. A real crime plan you get rid of 340 at gang and bring it down to less than 100. That is a real crime plan. That is the real fucking crime plan. Crime plan is all crimes, all major crimes down in Jamaica. That is a real crime plan. Gunman have to think twice now before they even go on no ends go try do nothing. That is a real crime plan. They get off of youth, them off of the street and go in an art program. 552,000 of these young youths are registered in the new art trust program introduced by Andrew Holness. That is a real crime plan. So if the PMP want to talk about crime plan is something that you don't share with the criminal. We have to tell the criminal, say, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we'll be ransacking your house at 15 Territory Lane. Really? And so the PMP have no answer, them now nothing to tell the people them. The Jamaica that they are now seeing emerging is the Jamaica they don't want. Because that's a Jamaica that the PMP cannot survive in. And that's why we see this rotten, stinking hatred that they have for Andrew Holness. Real raw hatred. Because Andrew Holness is changing the landscape of Jamaica. He's changing street and lane the lives of the Jamaican citizen. From the baby we're born since 2022, we are going on a trust fund, you know. Where when that child reach 18, the government already have 800,000 in our account put on for them. Anybody else who did contribute to it, both private and public person who contribute to whichever child they choose to want help. It will be millions by that child reach 18. So when the picnic they reach 18, if they decide say they want to set up a business or they want to go to college or they want to buy a piece of land, they are able to do so. And you only build real wealth for the people of Jamaica. The PMP don't like that. Because the PMP want to tell Jamaicans, say, go over there so and pitch one tent. And then tomorrow morning you clear out the land and build one boat house and capture that. Just stay there 5 years and don't get no trouble. And then we will give the land after 5 years. That is what PMP support in Jamaica. And we should not stomach it. We should fight against it. And we should show it to the people of Jamaica so that they can understand the PMP is no good.
The handout and PR mentality. Isn't it? Handout and PR. That them like. And them not understand, say, you have to build. See, I'm like when they have to save. You can't just, isn't it? And every time your child say they want something, you have a can. All when you have the money, sometimes it's towards a greater good. You know, them not understand them look at something there. But I don't know, as I say, I don't know if they have been dumbed down or if because a lot of people still were undereducated. They don't really like when faced with facts. If you talk to them and try to explain something with statistics, them say you're going to like you better than them and them think that they have low self-esteem. And I think that is one of the reasons why a lot of these people will follow the People's National Party. Not for politics, not for nothing more than they get more understood over there. Them not like to get technical. And once they get technical, just because of that, they're not going to be apartheid. You know? But I still not understand. It's really a kind of something need to be studied. Why over the side?
The PMP love people like Jamie Wood. The PMP love people like Jamie Wood we don't in our chat. Because Jamie Wood is nothing but a blinking handicap. Jamie Wood love poverty because the PMP sell this kind of situation, you know, where only one set of people in the society must have, and then the rest must rely on these people or depend on them. The PMP does not support a kind of way of life that says that everybody can be successful, while everybody won't be successful at the same time. But one can come up and then each one draw up one. The PMP don't believe in that. The PMP believes that one must come up and then that the one that take advantage of the masses and only throw the crumbs down at the bottom and feed them. So people like Jamie Wood will believe in the PMP because Jamie Wood don't believe, say, his brother who is his neighbor will live side of him must be equally successful as he is, so that his brother won't have to go sit down on a plan or if he come broke down his house with thief out in company and set, because his brother is able to buy him own company and set. So somebody like Jamie Wood will never accept and appreciate that the society can improve, the society can advance. And the little youth from the corner who today ring out in Anmiggle can tomorrow be an influential figure both in business and in character and morals in our community. Somebody like Jamie Wood don't subscribe to that. Because Jamie Wood want to be the big man on the street, the big man on the lane, who everybody run come to. Well, guess what, Jamie Wood? I don't want to be the big man on the lane. I want to be the man who help to draw up everybody on the lane, so everybody in the damn lane can live in peace and safety, and me have to not worry about my neighbor who are living in a squalor and that them soon broke down my yard, thief out my 2 goats and kill off poison off my dog them because they want to crawl through my window going to my house. Okay, Jamie Wood? So it would do you much good to stop supporting the people's criminal organization and that their only effort in Jamaica is to spread poverty and degradation. It would do you much good, Mr. Jamie Wood, if you would rise above even your current self and open your mind to understanding the trajectory on which Jamaica is on and where Jamaica is going. It would do you much good, Jamie Wood, if you support the kind of movement that is now created in Jamaica, where the little man no longer has to believe that he's little. Only the PMP remind people say them little, you know. The government don't use those languages. You need a Jamaica where the government don't even use the word poor. Our current government don't even want to use the word poor. Because when you use words, words have meaning and they have power. And each time you use the word poor, then poverty will come over the land. Notice that poverty is moving away from Jamaica since this government come in. Because the word power is rich. And every ghetto youth is a star. That's the word power. And so it is only the PMP in Jamaica that is using the word poor, because they do not want the Jamaican people to lose the word poor out of them vocabulary. Because the mention of a word gives power and take precedence in a people's lives. And so, Jamie Wood, I will encourage you that as you anchor around these lives, if you have nothing meaningful and sensible to say, you shut your mouth, stiff up your finger, put your hand in your pocket, and learn something sensible.
Jamie Wood, people with a mentality like Jamie Wood, people there will always be sufferers in Jamaica with a mentality like Jamie Wood, because them now go try to build some mental strength and try to look at job. I try to listen to what the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister say, and try to create some wealth, like save some money. Them now go do that. All them do, they want the previous thing where them sit down and just wait for money. So they will always be sufferers when them think like Johnny Wood. You know?
Anyway, my good people, I am heading off to the journey now. Because you know, so they say Dr. Tufton and the Jamaica Labour Party say health and wealth. That's what they say. So,
all right, Chuck. Bless up yourself, Chuck.
And we should be back on later on this evening.
All right, sir. Have a good day.
Big up yourself.
I'm factoring Lake Spend. If Lake Spend remains a part of East Central, it's still a safe seat for Orlando Terrell. Yeah. And why